Hey there, guys and gals, geeks and gamers. You're tuned in to the Nerd of Godcast, that place on the Venn diagram of life where Christ culture and nerd culture find sweet, sweet two-player co-op. Hello, and welcome to the Nerd of Godcast, that place where we come together as Avengers assembling to fight off the Chitauri warlords of lackadaisical laziness and listlessness and loserdom in order to proclaim the goodness of God, His grace, and His glory. My name is Tony T, and for the next few minutes, we're going to be talking about all the fun things that make us go woo and wee and biz whoop. And as we do that, we hope that you guys enjoy it and tag along with us. But I'm not going to do it alone, because with me, as always, is Steve-O Supremo.
Hiya, bubs.
Because you're the Wolverine. I see what's going on. So this is your costume?
For now.
Now, I don't know if you can see this, but your hair is doing a thing up on top of it.
It is. I usually wear a hat because my hair goes crazy.
Yeah, same thing happens to me.
I'm gonna make a switch real quick.
Okay.
Something a little bit more appropriate for the hair and appropriate for me.
Oh, okay. All right. The mighty Thor.
There we go.
You got that.
Much better.
Much better. I like it. How's everything going?
It's going well.
Smashing. Very good. Well, let's continue around our squared circle of fun today. He is the big man, Quentin Gregory Neff. If you give a Wookiee a cookie. How's it going, Neff?
Going good.
So last week, we were talking about Maximus the Mad from the Inhumans, and you said that, like him, your Terrigen-based power was not being able to grow a beard. Looks like your skill kicked in, man. You are luscious.
Yep.
What kind of beard butter are you rocking there, man?
Bart's
beard
butter.
Butter, man. Looks like someone spilled a bottle of Demoxenil on your head. Can you? Yeah. Oh,
Can't breathe in this thing.
Hey, it's Neff.
Neff.
It's so hard to breathe in that thing. I
like,
sound like Darth Vader.
It's like watching a zoo animal give birth. I'm not sure what just happened there.
It reminds me of Ace Ventura.
Oh, no. Oh, goodness.
Awesome, man. Everything good?
Absolutely.
All right, then let's continue. She is lovely, and she is terrifying. One half of the twins, Jessica Terror Manchester.
Hello.
Hello, Jessica. Are you a My Little Pony Friendship is Magic?
Yes. It's Rarity. I saw the movie and they saved the world.
Oh, so it was a happy ending.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
I thought that was a Hello Kitty mask.
No.
No, that's definitely some kind of equestrian. Is it? Are you an equestranaut?
Oh, I love that episode.
That's fine.
Well, you look cute as a button, and
thank you.
Here comes trouble. Let's make it double. The other half of the twins. Give it up for Jackie.
Hello.
That's great.
I am going to have bad dreams now.
It's the mouth moving up to the microphone.
Jackie, please keep that off for the rest of the night. That was amazing.
I can't.
Oh my goodness, was it getting really? It was getting misty in there, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay, all right.
works.
It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
What's going on? How you doing, Jackie?
Well, I managed to break the light in my room last night, which was awesome.
Was it with that horn?
I wish.
Everybody's taking their mask off. I'm taking mine off too. I don't know.
I've changed my
this is
mask.
allowed,
I
but
didn't take it off.
My face is making like
it's
sweats.
just too hot.
Throwing Captain America down on the ground. So wonderful days for Jackie. Besides the fact that you need help. Like, how did you break your light?
I pulled the string to turn the light off, and the string broke off in the socket. So it is gone.
That sounds like a Nick Sadler job. Nick, can you fix her light for her?
Please.
Maybe. So you say that, and he's just gonna make your room just filled with LEDs.
That's what it'd be.
As long as there's light.
You're gonna walk in your room. It's gonna look like a discotheque.
So right now I just have the Christmas lights like on my wall that I can plug in.
Oh, so it's like Stranger Things season 1 in there.
Yeah, basically.
I gotcha. Very nice. And moving down to the end of our table, his name is EJ, the official Ness.
It's your boy.
You look like the Rat King, man.
It's the secret of Ness.
What? There was a book that had like a mouse on a motorcycle.
Yes.
What was the name of the mouse?
A mouse on a
Ralph?
motorcycle?
Was it
I know
Ralph?
what you're
What was
talking
the name
about.
of the mouse?
I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
I don't know the
give-
name.
There was a TV show too.
yes.
Was it
Give
Ralph?
him a
Ralph
cookie.
sounds very familiar.
I think it's
I
Ralph.
have
I
to
know what
look this
you're
up
talking
now.
about.
Because there was a sequel.
Yep.
Yeah,
He went to like a
it was
camp.
a whole book series.
Remy.
I know. But but that's what you reminded me with that that rat grown up
I
with
thought
a Ness hat.
I was gonna say he looks like Bizarro Stuart Little. I don't know. Does
God.
nobody know what Stuart
No,
Little
I know
is?
it's Stuart Little, but Stuart Little was a mouse. That was a rat hat.
Well,
Well, it makes him bizarre.
what is a mouse?
The mouse is named Ralph. I was sorry.
Well, good 2 points for you. Fantastic.
Ralph.
I'll take rodents in literature for 500, Alex. Very good. EJ, everything's great for you?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling real jukey right now. I just got done watching the Postmodern Jukebox over at Epcot.
Nice.
Food and Wine
Very
Festival.
nice.
It was
Now,
nice.
I'm not trying to get all grammatical on you, but is jukey a word?
No, I just feel
It
jukey
seems
right now.
seems like I should bleep that. I don't know.
Well, EJ likes to shorten everything he says.
Yes.
So Juki is just short for postmodern jukebox.
like Tom Haverford.
Yeah. EJ has never once said Nerd or Godcast. It is once and for always for him. Nog.
Nog.
So okay, so if EJ's going to see a concert series, if he's going to the Coachella or something like that, and he's going to see something like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, how is he feeling?
Chili.
Fe-
I was about
feeling
to say
chippy.
chili.
Peppy?
Oh, I thought you were
More
Peppy.
Peppy? Chili Peppy?
Chili
Chili
Peppy.
Peppy?
Ready
Flea.
Chili Peppy.
Flea.
All
He's
right,
got
so,
fleas on him.
So let's just say he's going to see Lady Gaga. How's he feeling?
Ga.
He's feeling. He's going gaga.
Yeah.
Going
Diga.
gaga
I'm
for
feeling
Diga.
gaga right now. I'm
Goggy?
feeling gaga. Goggy.
Feeling
Diga.
I'm
Goggy.
feeling real goggy right now, guys. Just got done watching
What if he
the
goes to an
Lady Gaga
ACDC concert?
ACDC, he's feeling ACDCE.
He's feeling
DC, he's feeling decent.
DCEU.
He's decent.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that ran its course quickly, didn't it?
Once again, DC messes everything up.
And last but not least, Nick, the engineer. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
How you doing up there, man?
Good.
Are you wearing a mask too?
Sure.
He's in full Joker makeup, suit, and everything.
I prefer to imagine him dressed up in like a full Phantom of the Podcast costume, the half mask, and he's pulling levers and
Ba, ba, ba,
That'd be
ba, ba.
sing once again with me.
Nick, can you sing?
Can you sing, Nick?
What's
Holy
that be
cow!
like? I know.
Nick, can you sing?
What if that was like his
Nick can
secret
sing.
thing?
That's
I've
it.
heard
He's
Nick
so
sing
quiet.
I bet you Nick sings country
Ooh.
music.
Oh man,
No.
sing a little tune for us.
I don't
Nick.
listen to country music.
You
Nick,
lie.
What do you listen
He
to?
makes
Rock?
country music.
Sing a
All
little.
of Perry, Florida just tuned out right now.
All
Sorry, Perry,
one
but I don't
listener.
listen to country music.
What can you sing, Nick?
No.
If I asked your
Yes,
mom,
you
would she
can.
say you could sing?
She probably would.
Well, mamas don't lie. Mamas only tell the truth.
Yeah, but my mom would say that I could sing.
Oh, your mom's a liar then. Something is not right there. Or
Nick
she
can sing. I've
or
heard
she
Nick sing
tone deaf.
before.
All right, Nick. Maybe one day we need to have like a little Nick karaoke, something like that.
Yep.
Nick is a very
One
good freestyle
word.
rapper.
Nick karaoke.
Yeah, Nick is a break dancer. If we put the cardboard
He's
out
a
right now,
b-boy.
that's what it is. You don't even know. He kicks it old school.
The sad boy is a b-boy.
Speaking of kicking it old school, we're going to play a game right now called If We Were. That's when we bring a topic up and we say, if we were something from a certain category, what would we be if we were one of these? Jackie, help me out tonight. Pick a number between 1 and 10.
4.
4. That's a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great job. If we were Star Wars characters.
Oh.
So think about it for real quick. If you were a Star Wars character, we want everybody out there in the Nerd of God
Dang it.
squad that's listening right now to help us out. Start thinking right now what you would be if you were a Star Wars character. We're doing the same thing right now. In just a second, we're going to go around the panel here and see what we would be. Hashtag if we were Star Wars characters. Nick, do you know what you would be if you were a Star Wars character? Who you would be?
R2D2.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not a BB-8, more of an R2.
Yeah.
A little more smooth, a little more like, lovable, clunky kind of, but nothing flashy, just an astromech droid out to save the universe.
Yep.
All right, that works. Woo-woo.
Isn't BB-8 a girl?
I heard that we had this conversation, didn't we? That
I think so.
BB-8 is a girl.
I think we lightly
Is
discussed it.
BB-9E a boy?
BB-9E has to be a boy.
That'd be
90.
awesome.
BB-9E.
He's so cool.
They already put all of like the awesome quotient into Captain Phasma. You can't have like two hardcore evil versions in one universe. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So yeah, BB-9E. I'm assuming it's a boy. But are droids really boys or girls?
No.
They're just data.
I mean, look at
Gadgets.
C-3PO. I could never really tell. So if you were a Star Wars character, Neff, who would you be?
Well, I guess based off of my costume, I would be Chewbacca.
Tell me why you would be Chewbacca. It can't just be your costume.
Because I'm tall. And Chewbacca's tall.
Give us your best Chewie.
I don't want to.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
I don't want to.
Do it. Looky, it's a Wookiee.
I can't do it.
He's got Wookiee block. We'll come back to you. You start working it out right
Oh,
now.
yeah, sure.
All right, we'll swing all the way down to the other end of the table. EJ, if you were a Star Wars character, who would you be? Who do you think EJ would be if you were a Star Wars character?
He's the toughest, I think.
He's the toughest?
The toughest to decide.
Oh,
about.
okay. Got it.
Wedge Antilles.
Wedge Antilles. Why Wedge Antilles?
I don't know. I just want to throw out a name.
Wedge Antilles.
Riccoli.
You don't need the Force to make it through the trilogy.
He'd be Bail Organa.
EJ, who would... Bail Organa's not bad. That's not a bad choice.
That's cool.
It's not just because he's lightly brown.
Jimmy Smith.
I was gonna say Finn.
I could see that.
I can see
He's
Finn.
passionate, you know what I'm saying?
I like
he's
Finn.
about the cause. Bro.
I
Oh.
love Finn.
I
Yeah.
almost said who because I'm only thinking of the
At the
first
moment, I
six.
was like Finn. I think I'd be Finn.
I can
you
see
know what I'm
that.
saying?
I
Like
see
going
Finn.
against the
Good.
grain, rebelling.
Well, I would say if you're going, well, I guess so, yeah.
You know?
I would say if you're going for passionate, I would say Poe is more passionate than Finn.
True.
No, I disagree, man.
Wait,
Finn,
wait,
Well,
wait.
say
Poe
Finn
was just doing what he do, but Finn was like he did what he did like a full 180. I mean, he
Yeah.
rebelled
Yeah.
against like brainwashing and everything, man.
Yeah.
It was a
So
total
I'd say
turnaround.
Finn for myself, but that's me. I don't know if you guys have something different.
I agree
I
with Finn.
I would get down with that.
That's good.
I'm good
That's
with
cool.
Finn.
I still say Bail Organa because Finn's
What about-
Finn's good too.
Lando? No.
I did think that.
Lando.
I think Lando for Jackie.
Why?
What?
Why?
Okay.
Stunt casting. Just go
No.
random. I have no idea because
I have,
Jackie's
no, I have
tough
something
for
new
me.
for Jackie.
Because there's like three.
I have one for Jessica.
There's like three female characters in the Star Wars universe.
Not anymore.
There's like 4 female
Not
characters.
anymore.
Because
There's more.
I would have said Mon Mothma.
You got Mon Mothma, you got Leia, you got Rey, you got Padme, you got Jin
wait, there's
Urso.
a
You have
So there's
Ahsoka?
5.
Oh,
Still,
It
more
only
than
took them
two.
Yeah,
40 years to
Ahsoka's
get
in
5.
They have like a whole Star Wars like
She didn't
like
take any
toy
other
line
Instagram.
and
It
Shakti
was
line
a
for
Who's
girls.
Who's
Yeah.
the Twi'lek?
The
The
blue-
Jedi
the blue
Twi'lek.
girl.
Ashoka? Oh no,
Shakti?
no, Ashoka is the one that was
The
Anakin.
one with the,
Anakin's
okay, the
Padawan.
one with the things coming.
Jack. That's
That's
who
Ahsoka.
Jackie is.
Shakti's.
If we're going outside of the canonical like movies, if we can go Clone Wars, I say that she's Ashoka.
Is she the? Is that which one is Ashika? I didn't watch
She-
the Clone
she
Wars.
went to train with Anakin, right?
Yeah,
She was Anakin's
Anakin's,
Padawan.
That one.
Is she the Is she Twi'lek?
No, I don't think so.
She also shows up
She's blue.
in
No, I think
other
she's like red.
Yeah,
stuff.
she's
Or
she's
she's
like
right. No, I'm
tiger
thinking
striped
of a
almost.
different one. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of a different one.
I'm
My
surprised
bad.
that I don't. Shakti sounds just as good.
I
as
think you're
anything.
thinking of Shakti. Shakti's the one that has the big. She's
big
like
blue.
red
She's the
and
Twilight.
white.
Yeah, like
Twilight.
Bib Fortuna.
She's the one that gets
Yeah.
killed in Order 66.
I got
Spoiler
called.
alert.
I got.
Oh, all the Jedi get killed.
They all
You
die.
don't.
Most of the Jedi.
No spoiler alerts for the prequels, okay?
Yeah, the prequels were
There's
already
nothing.
spoiled before they came out. Like,
Yeah.
here's a little kid, but guess what? He's gonna turn into somebody nefarious. Don't say anything. Surprise!
I just always wanted to say that. A lot of you guys always say spoiler alert. I wanted
no.
Don't say it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Jessica.
Okay, stop
who said,
hating
who
on
said
my
they had a
movie.
good one for Jessica? EJ, was that you?
I was thinking. I always say, is it Jen or Jen?
Jin.
Jin Urso.
Jen or yeah.
That's who I picked for myself too.
Yeah, I would say that too. Because
She's hardcore, man.
And Jin is
think
very
so.
like,
She's hardcore.
yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, she's
And
hardcore. She don't play
Just
games.
as like, this is a podcast, isn't we? Isn't it? I'm gonna podcast. I don't care.
Isn't we a podcast?
Is it?
But that wasn't in the movie.
All right, just based on his syntax alone, Steven, Jar Jar Binks.
No.
I was
Isn't
gonna,
we a podcast? Misa thinks so.
No.
I was gonna say
stepping in-
C-3PO just because of the
No.
banter between Nick and Steven.
Oh.
No.
They bicker.
No.
Yes.
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 100%.
Yeah.
No.
That's
because he
it.
doesn't
All right,
wanna be
Steven,
Solo.
who would you be? Watch
I
Steven
was-
bust out like I'm Han Solo.
I was gonna say Kip Fisto, but he gets.
Why are you
killed.
guys picking like no-name loser Jedi's?
They're gonna be Kid Fisto.
Who are like-
Kid
they're like
Fisto's
props.
They're just trying. Hey, they're trying to up their dirt.
Honest-
to
Wait,
him.
wait,
That's
stop,
what-
pause. Tell me one thing about Kit Fisto besides his name is Kit Fisto.
Kip Fisto? I forgot.
Oh,
No. I
got
forgot
called
his
out.
race. I can't think
Okay,
of it.
besides his
But-
race, because if I said, tell me about Lando, he's the black guy. I mean, you can't just tell me his race. What is it about him
He gets
that you
killed by
associate
the
with?
Emperor.
Well,
in
number
episode
one,
3,
from what
really quick.
I understand about his race is that they're very like, in order for him to leave
No. What is it about Kit Fisto?
I don't know. I just want to throw a
can
name
tell
out
you.
there. That's not who I was really gonna say.
Would you like me to tell
Although
you?
I do play a role. I used to play a role-playing game, a Star Wars role-playing game, and my character I made, his name was Tig Fisto. He was his grandson.
Okay.
That's why.
So that's who you are because you played a video game.
It wasn't a video game. It was a
Role-playing game.
Oh, okay.
It was a dice game.
It's a video game, but nerdier.
But I honestly,
Which we don't hate on. I'm just saying.
I would say Obi-Wan Kenobi.
You would be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
See, I was gonna say that for Tony.
Why?
Young
Steven?
Obi-Wan Kenobi, perhaps.
Why?
Because he cosplays as Obi-Wan.
Well, no, I like
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He just wants to wear a robe.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is passionate. Obi-Wan Kenobi is loyal.
Cannoli. You said
Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan
Kenobi.
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I want to open up
Leave the gun. Bring the Kenobi.
I just
Leave
now,
the blaster.
Now all I want to do is open up an Italian restaurant. Just call it
Obi-Wan
Cannolis.
Yes.
Obi-Wan Cannolis.
That'd be great.
man,
That's funny.
But no, I like Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's also my favorite character in
Say it
the
again.
Star Wars universe.
Okay. Do we decide who Jackie is? Did we say Ashoka?
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Mara Jade. The pink.
you don't know anything about Mara Jade either.
Yes, I do.
What about her?
She was the secret Padawan to the Emperor.
What was she called? The Emperor's.
The Darth. It was a Darth. I
no,
can't remember
she
that.
was the
part.
Emperor's hand.
And
The
she ended up
hand.
battling
Darth
Luke.
Hand, you were so close.
She ended up battling Luke after the Emperor died, and then they eventually fell in love and had children. One of
Not
them-
anymore.
I know. I'm just
Nope,
saying.
doesn't
One of them
count.
being
Not a
Ben
thing anymore.
Skywalker.
Not even in the video game.
Alternate universe. Never happened.
I was just saying because her hair is
Fake
pink.
news.
Mara Jade's lightsaber's pink.
It's not gonna be pink for long.
Jackie changes her hair every week and a half. I'm used to it.
Okay.
Tomorrow it's going to be light.
Have we done everybody?
Heliotrope.
Not you.
Not you.
I'm good. I'm old Luke Skywalker.
No.
No, you're Yoda.
I would say yeah.
No,
yeah, old-
no,
He's
no.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I'm old Luke Skywalker.
You're
I'm
Ben.
a-
You're
I'm okay with
Qui-Gon
that.
Jinn. If I'm Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're
You
Qui-Gon.
can chin up a rope, sir. No, man. I'll tell you that it's an interesting thing. When I watch it as a kid, I always associated with Luke Skywalker. I was associated with the boy stepping into this big world of action and adventure and wonder. And now, 40 years later, I watch the movie as an adult, and I see myself in the role of Obi-Wan or of Luke Skywalker still as the older guy who's now training up the younger people that are coming behind. So for me, there's like a personal connection there. So if I was a Star Wars, I would be old Luke Skywalker. That would be me. So if it was original trilogy only, probably Obi-Wan Kenobi. But if I was not, I would have to say, you know what? Forget it. I'm Darth Vader.
I was gonna say Anakin.
I was gonna say Darth.
Don't make me destroy you.
You are my
Anakin.
brother.
Okay, so
I have the high ground.
You're supposed to bring balance to the Force, not
put a pin in
destroy
that.
it.
Put a pin in that, and I'm gonna come back to it. So, if let us know who you would be. Hashtag if we were, and let us know what Star Wars character you would be. Okay, now back to this. I watched Inhumans episode 4.
I haven't watched that one.
Why?
I've watched the first 3. I haven't watched 4.
I am wearing right now, by the way, a custom made. Can you get a zoom in on this real quick, Nick? I am wearing my Terrigen Mines Adelan the Moon shirt. To the mines
Starting
you
again.
go. This is available. We're going to make this available as a prize. We're not even going to sell it on our website. I am going to custom make one and give it away to one of our listeners this week. So if you win, you let us know what size, what color you want, and I will custom make you a Terrigen Mines Nerd of Godcast shirt. And it is an exclusive, one of a kind, and you can have it. And we'll let you know how you can win that later on in this episode. But I'm watching it, and there's a character as I'm watching the show. I'm listening to Maximus the Mad, and the longer I listen to his character, the more I go, this guy sounds just like Anakin Skywalker. Like he speaks and I'm going, I like this show less and less and less. Now, flipping that, I like Medusa more and more and more. It's really weird. Like for some reason, she's becoming more likable, but every other aspect of the
Is
show
her
is
hair growing quickly?
no. She still is buzzed down, but
Is Karnak still concussed?
Karnak is living on a miniature pot farm.
Yeah.
It's weird, and he's
Oh.
just there now, and that's what's
all
happening. He's helping them more efficiently grow.
But he
Controlled
doesn't. He
substances.
doesn't know what that is.
He doesn't know
Controlled
what that
substance.
is, and Gorgon's still out there walking in the woods with
With his
surfer
boots.
soldiers, and Triton is still missing, and so there's this one scene where I'm gonna just spoil episode 4 for you. This is no, I'm gonna do
Okay.
it. So Black Bolt is in prison with this random he looks like he's kind of like Heavy Maui, with he can like put heat out of his hands, who helps him escape from the prison, which is funny because they have these scenes of them like running from prison, and the dude that they cast to play this Inhuman with the heat hands, clearly when he auditioned for the part, they didn't ask him, "Are you able to run?" Because you got Black Bolt and he's running, and this guy's behind him, and he looks like me running. He's just like, It looks painful and uncomfortable for him. So I'm like, oh my goodness. And they just keep doing it over and over again, where you see him running, and I'm like, no, bro. So there's this scene where they get taken to the second location, and they're walking out, and they get attacked by some of the evil Inhumans. And as this scene plays out, he just looks at this other guy, and he's like, because Black Bolt can't say anything because he'll blow everything up. So, and the guy like turns and runs around the corner, very painfully looking. And at the end of the scene, the fight ends, and Black Bolt gets in a car with the people that save him and drives away. And just totally leaves that dude there.
He leaves
Just
Maui?
Leaves Maui. And oh my goodness. There's so many holes in that show that are ridiculous. But I'm going to keep watching it. I'm going to watch it to the bitter end. At this point, it's like it's drinking bad milk just to be impressed at how bad it tastes. So, anybody else watch anything interesting this week?
I rewatched Stranger Things. Gearing up
Are you gearing up for season 2?
Yes. And I had it's weird because I watched it the first time. Dustin was my favorite character, still my favorite character. But rewatching it a second time, Hopper is like fantastic. I'm like, wow, I don't know why I didn't appreciate him more in the first time I watched it.
Probably because you weren't sure if you were supposed to like him or not.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
They have like a long
That's
kind of
true.
play out where you're going, is he going to be a help or is he going to be a hindrance?
Yeah, I'm gonna be binging that soon myself. I saw the trailer last night for
season
2. Got really hyped.
Yeah, boy.
One of my favorite things about Stranger Things, watching it through the first time, was the episode where, because they always just kind of drag that out, like there's this weird thing happening over there, and it's some strange thing, and the kids know about it, but nobody else knows about it. And it seems like they always drag that out. Like, no one's going to believe them. No one's going to believe them. Well, like halfway through Stranger Things, like all of a sudden, everybody in their own way kind of learns that it's real. And like, then they come together and they're like, okay, now let's address this. And that was a really exciting moment for me. Like, I'm okay, now this thing's in high gear. Like, they can get past the whole, we all think that this lady's crazy. We all think that, she's nuts and she's got the Christmas lights. And now it's like, nope, we believe you. Let's get to action. I thought that was good. I was glad that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But season 2 is good. We're gonna have to do our best to not like watch it all in one
I'm
day.
excited to see Steve again, if I can be honest with you. I know he was kind of the worst character last season,
Kind of.
but
He's such a cliche, though.
Yeah.
well, you're wrong, Steve, and I don't like you. I like Steve. Steve
Not
is-
Steven.
Not Steven.
Yeah, I'm that Steve.
Can you get your hair to go higher and can you act like more of a jerk?
Yeah, I can do the second one easily, but I don't know about the hair
I'm saying,
thing.
if you could do that, I don't see what the difference is. Just
And here's the thing: everyone said he had a redemption in that show.
He did.
How? Explain
saved
it to
people.
me. Who did he
who
save?
are
He
you
saved the people.
Steve Harrington.
Who are you talking to?
Neff.
Okay, I just heard the
Neff-
voice, but I
yeah.
didn't. I'm like, is that Nick? Is Nick arguing with her right now?
Explain to me how he redeemed himself. Who did he save?
He came back in and he saved the people from getting eaten by the thingy.
Best is
Well,
One
that was
people
good.
and one thingy.
And thank you for not spoiling anything.
Forgot everybody's name and I forgot the name of the thing.
Okay, but
He
that
saved the children and the white girl and the mom.
If he hadn't come back, he would have been
And
a
the
terrible
po-po.
person.
but he also left because he was afraid.
Yeah, and then he came back and overcame that fear.
Yeah,
Right now,
he still wasn't.
Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna get on my phone.
Uh-oh.
Watch this. This is happening right now, you guys. Live and in real time. No, please keep talking about Stranger Things.
Okay.
Still,
Steven, I don't like him.
Well, I know
I'm
you
not a
don't.
big fan of him.
Nobody likes Steve.
One. Here's the thing.
I think Steve is a
If-
good character, and I'm
if-
excited to see him with the bat again.
If in
Yeah.
season 2, he has made strides to be a better person.
Which I'm sure they're going to.
Yeah.
Because
They're going
there
to.
were small
Yeah.
there were small moments where he saw some things that were happening, like not even like paranormal wise, just saw some things that were happening with his friends, and he's like, yeah, no, that's not cool, and kind of like ditched his friends. That I would say that redeemed him more than the monster
You can't
thing.
crap on somebody's chest and then help them wipe it down and call yourself a good guy. You can't do that. Like, he was a real jerk.
He was.
I agree. I was
He
gonna
really
say
was.
like that. Those things in alone.
And what he did was way beyond like coming back with a baseball bat. Like, for me, I'm very sensitive. I was when things in these kind of shows happen, you take, okay, this guy's a bad guy or whatever, but for some reason, when it's young people making it happen, like when it's teenagers and they're in high school, I'm a little bit more sensitive to it just because of my own particular ministry sensitivities. And like for like the minute he's got like Nancy upstairs and he's like using the smooth moves and trying to like being sleazy, to get it easy, and I'm already not a Steve fan, and we're not supposed to be. I mean, we're all supposed to be like against that or whatever, kind of have at least a little bit of kind of creeper vibe to it, hopefully. But like then when he turns on her and they put the nasty slurs about her up on the marquee and stuff, that's irredeemable. That's when you have gone full public with your jerkdom.
Now, before Steven starts yelling at me, which I know he would,
I might.
Yeah, don't attack me. I liked that Nancy ended up with Steve at the end because I didn't expect it. I expected her to be with the other guy. But it also sets up something for season 2, which I think is when they're actually going to pull the trigger on her dumping Steve and then
which she should.
Steve has to die.
I was thinking the same thing. I believe he's going to die.
Steve has to die.
I think he's going to die.
And if he wants real redemption, Steve is going to die, bringing back Barb.
Oh,
Barb is dead.
Oh, Barb
yeah, he can't bring her back.
Barb.
Do we know that Barb is dead?
Yes.
We saw her dead body.
Yeah, with slugs coming out of it
Yeah.
and dead
Oh,
eyes.
man.
She's dead.
She's on the way
Will
upside
almost
down.
died.
Yeah, but maybe Barb will come back.
No, Barb is dead.
Hey, listen. Stranger things have happened. Let us know how you think, what you think is going to happen to Steve in Stranger Things Season 2, as well as all the other fun and interesting ways that you can chat with us. We love to interact with the Nerd of God Squad. And the best way for you to do that is to get online on all the social media usual suspects. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Nerd of Godcast. You can also check out our blog at www.nerdofgodcast.com or email us at nerdofgodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to chat with you, connect with you, and exchange
Whimsical animated gifts with you.
Now, here's something that's new, and I'm not ready to reveal it just yet, but we have something that we're going to put out there for next episode. So in 2 weeks' time, you guys will hear all about this. We have a phone number. That's right. We have the Nog line. And
What?
You heard. It's the Nog line. And we're going to be putting our phone number out there and allowing people to call in and leave us messages about certain topics. We'll put some things. It's kind of like your ability to tweet. Then we'll take your messages, and if we find it interesting, whimsical, or relevant to what we're talking about, we're going to feature you on the show. That's your way to be part of our conversation.
It's like the end of the Magic School Bus episodes.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. And I watched the show.
Whenever, because at the end of the episode, they would have like somebody call
having a
call
conversation.
in and have a conversation about the
The show.
I don't
topic.
remember that.
Okay.
Me
So wait,
neither.
they'd have somebody call in and talk about the episode that was airing live?
Yes.
It wasn't
Steven,
a real call.
It was magic. Okay.
It was a children's show.
The
Steven.
Magic School Bus.
You gotta
want to
pick
see?
apart children's shows, Steven.
It's on Netflix. Go refresh your memory.
So
Yes, the robots transformed into beings.
What?
He's
Wait,
describing.
back up.
He's describing.
Hold on. In the Magic School Bus, there were robots that transformed into people beings?
I mean, we don't know. I haven't seen the full reboot yet. I only watched the first episode, which I really enjoyed.
Wait, it's out already?
Yes.
and it's really
When
good.
did it come out?
A while
No.
ago.
Yeah,
I don't know, I
open up
just
your
started
Netflix calendar,
Yeah, it's
Neff,
on
and let us know.
It's on my
And-
Netflix calendar.
And Lin-Manuel Miranda did the theme song. to the
Yes.
new
I
one,
love
so
him.
that was
Well,
fun.
he just redid the theme song. It was the same theme song.
Yes, it's the same
Well, I
exact
mean, I
theme
didn't
song.
say that he composed a new
There's
No
a-
credit. I mean,
there's a
we're
lot
I just
more-
said
great.
he did it.
There's a lot more auto-tune in
How
that
many-
one.
It's
though.
How many theme songs
Shady
have you
Steve.
done,
I'm gonna start
Salisbury?
calling you that. Shady Salisbury.
Oh,
Shady Steve.
man.
Shady
Throwing
Barry.
shade.
My
Barry.
goodness. He's like an umbrella
Man, I'm
on
gonna
the
get you an
beach.
umbrella.
For
over
real.
here. Man.
Ooh, and a
Okay,
sweater.
so I don't know about magic or school buses, but I do know that next week we're going to be putting out a phone number so you guys can call in with your messages and your updates. We'll feature them on the show in a segment that we call Nerd of God Shoutouts. So we'll let you guys know all about that, and we will reveal the number. We're actually going to be giving the phone number out to our Patreon sponsors a week early, so Patreon sponsors can get in there. You can find out more about that on our website, nerdofgodcast.com. Click on the link, support the show, and you can find all about how you can help us pay the bills through our Patreon page. We definitely appreciate everybody who is faithful in their giving. Who's ready to play a game?
I am.
Yes.
All right, this is going to be a team versus team game,
Oh.
and Halloween is coming up. This is
Uh-oh.
if we always started out. Well, you okay?
Sorry.
This is Halloween.
We heard her.
I know.
Halloween.
We were there when she did it.
I know.
Steven, shady instant replay. That's you.
Shady Steve.
It just happened, and Steven wants to make fun of it. Coming this summer, Shady Steven, the replay. We're going to be playing a game, and this is because it's sort of a spooky time of year, Halloween. We are going to play a game called Tinder of Doom.
Oh.
No.
Dun, dun, dun.
The Tinder of Doom, or Swipe Right for Fright.
It's like a Bullwinkle title. Or
Or watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Nothing up my sleeve. Presto. Must use the wrong hat. Now here's something we hope you'll really like. All
I
right,
used
so
to love that show.
what a Rocket Bullwinkle's brilliant. That was
So
a great
good.
show. Fantastic. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do team versus team. So we're going to split you guys up, and Steven, you can't play.
Okay. Well,
We're gonna just to make the teams even. But later on, I'll let you play something. All right.
Okay.
So Steven, you're clean up.
all right. I want to write down my answers anyway.
That's fine. You can play. You can play along. This is just
Can I
for
be
you.
on my own team by myself?
So we got EJ and Jackie versus Neff and Jess. Now what I'm gonna do is
I was gonna say it's Ness and Jackie and Neff and Jackie. Wow.
you okay?
I'm by myself for a
The
reason.
replay.
go home, Shady. You're drunk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read someone's Tinder profile, and these are all villains from movies, TV shows, comic books, or video games. I'm gonna read their Tinder profile, and you are gonna tell me who wrote the profile, whose profile it is.
no.
Now, the way that this game is going to work, and Steven, I need you to keep score for me,
Okay.
Because this is going to get complicated
This is
quick.
gonna be bad.
This is the way it's going to work. I'm going to ask it to one team. So we'll start out with Jessica and Neff. And if you guys know the answer, you can answer it for 10 points.
Cool.
If you don't know the answer, swipe left, and you, I guess because we're on camera here, swipe right, and you guys will have to answer the question.
Okay.
If you think that they don't know it, you can send it to them. Or if you don't know it, you can send it to them.
Okay.
Okay.
If it gets swiped to you and you can answer it, you get 20 points.
Nice.
Wow.
If you can't answer it, or you think they sent it to you because they don't know, you can swipe back to the left and send it back over here. And if they don't answer, you get the points. If you do answer, though, you get 30 points.
So it's 10 more points every time it's swiped.
Can they swipe
Correct.
again?
No,
Is it
that's it.
3 times.
Left, right, that's it. So.
for 220 points for the first question?
All right. So this is the way that this game is going to work. Hopefully you guys understand how it works. So there's a strategy. If you think your opponents don't know it, you might want to swipe it over there. And you don't want to get it wrong, because if you get it wrong, you'll lose those points. So get ready to do your pluses and
Oh, we're
minuses,
losing?
Steven.
Oh, daggum.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. So math is hard. This one's going to get super competitive, which is why it's probably better for us that Steven is not playing.
That is true.
Here we go. Swipe right for fright. I'm a quiet guy, close with my mom. I enjoy long showers and dressing up, staying in, and ordering room service.
Who's first? They are?
Yep.
Norman Bates.
Norman Bates is correct for 10 points.
Now, this is for.
As soon as I saw you ran it down, I'm like, yep.
Yeah, they're villains,
That's an easy one.
villains,
That's my
monsters, video game
I
bad
know,
guys.
That's pretty quick.
So.
That was my first
All cads, villains, and ne'er-do-wells. That's sort of our category for
one.
tonight.
Simon Bar Sinister.
Okay. I want to be, this is for Jackie and EJ. I want to be the man of your dreams, but I've been burnt before.
I know this one.
See, you might not want to say you know this one, because
I-
if they
I
think you don't,
If you
they
think
can
so,
send it
yes.
over
Well, I
to
don't.
you.
I don't know.
I want to be the man of your dreams, but I've been burnt before.
I can say it.
Yeah, if you know it.
Freddy Krueger.
It is Freddy Krueger, 10
Okay.
points.
Yeah, I was looking at Jessica. She knew that was
That's
this
very
one.
good.
I got
Okay.
This
Back
game
over
over
Yeah,
here
write
where
the whole
nobody's
thing down.
swiping the other way.
That's all right. Now they'll get a little harder. On the harder ones, you might have to swipe. So we'll see what happens. All right. Looking for a hunky guy you can feel a real spark with? Check out my arms if you like big guns. I'm not going to deceive you. If you're looking for a guy who will never change, swipe left. I'll read it again. Looking for a hunky guy you can feel a spark with? check out my arms if you like big guns. I'm not going to deceive you. If you're looking for a guy who will never change, swipe
Yes,
left.
That's the answer.
Megatron?
It is Megatron for 10 points.
Man.
Now, if you didn't think they knew, it's a good thing I'm not playing this game.
Why?
Because I don't know if they would have gotten it. I would have done that so we could have tried to get 30 points.
Steven's a jerk. But that's how the game is played. If you think they don't know it, you can stick it to them. If they send it back to you, you get triple points.
No, I'm too nice.
Okay, over to you guys. I'm a big city guy with a winning smile, always quick with a joke, and never so serious.
It's the Joker.
It is
right?
the Joker.
Okay.
Awesome.
10 points.
It's the Joker, right?
So far, this math game is easy. Everyone's guessing on the first try.
Okay, Neff.
Wait, question.
Yes.
So if they answer wrong, I take away
The
points.
answer is
Okay.
Correct. Neff, Jessica.
Nefika.
No.
No,
NJ
that's weird.
versus EJ.
I'm just testing this out. I'm a bit of a science girl, looking for a companion, someone to go out with for maybe a slice of cake. No lie.
Oh. Okay.
GLaDOS?
GLaDOS is correct from Portal. We're looking for
I was
GLaDOS.
actually
I knew
gonna
that
get
one.
that one.
Steven, are you helping them? Can
No,
you,
I'm
No.
not.
You and Jessica keep giving.
Jessica's just writing the answers
Okay.
down.
Yes,
right now.
I'm
Just
writing
like
them
your
down
mother,
as he's saying
just-
the
just-
clues.
Jessica and I have known each other long enough
Steven,
that I
you-
can telepathically answer the questions to her.
He can't even
I don't
speak
need you
the
to.
questions
Yeah, that's
using
just
English.
weird.
It's because all my
You shouldn't
brain
have to do
function
that.
is going over there.
All right, back over here. Looking for a casual companion who will let me have them over for dinner. I'll bring the Chianti. Looking for a casual companion who will let me have them for dinner. I'll bring the Chianti.
Swipe.
Swipe.
Hannibal Lecter.
It is Hannibal Lecter for double points.
I'm loving all of these
That
clues.
was
They're
easy.
really good.
That was
Thank
really
you.
easy. That was going.
It's easy if you know the character. If you don't know the character, it's not easy.
Oh, that's fine.
All right, back to you guys.
Okay.
An attractive older gentleman looking for someone to love. I've been told I have a magnetic personality.
That's all you. Well, you don't know?
Now when you say it like that.
Magneto.
It is
you
Magneto.
It's X-Men. I figured you would want to answer it.
All right, back over here, you guys. I'm a widower, but I'm trying to get myself back out there. Although my personality has been a bit dark, please, no atheists. I find a lack of faith disturbing.
It's Darth Vader.
It is
right?
Darth Vader.
I had to
Thank
think.
you,
I was
Jackie.
like,
Oh my gosh,
wait.
thank you.
I don't
Thank
think
you, Jackie.
I
Thank
don't
you,
think I would have gotten that if you hadn't said lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to make them too hard. All right. Over to you guys.
Okay.
You guys do know you can swipe but if you don't want to, that's fine. I have my eye out for someone whom I can share this journey with. Although one doesn't just walk into my heart.
Oh.
If I like it, I'm not afraid to put a ring on it.
No. Yeah. Sauron.
Sauron is correct.
Who is that?
The
The
bad guy
giant
in
eye
Rings.
in Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why you guys have to. Okay.
I don't know what they know. I don't want to take the
Exactly, I don't
chance.
know what they
I,
know.
I like Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. So
Exactly.
she knows.
I know.
Jackie
I'm not
definitely
losing.
would know that.
Just because I don't know Lord of the Rings doesn't mean
Jackie would
doesn't
definitely
know
know that.
All right.
I'm
I have.
offended.
I'm not saying that, but
Don't get offended.
Just because you know Lord of the Rings doesn't mean you would have
Trigger.
at first got the clue.
We're all still friends, right?
I know that. Yes.
I don't think Steven thinks so.
All right, over here to you guys. That's why Steve's not playing.
Yeah. Shady Steve.
I have dark eyes and a big smile. My passions are swimming in the sea and fine dining.
Say it again.
I have dark eyes and a big smile. My passions are swimming in the sea and fine dining.
Oh no.
Swipe.
Swipe.
Jaws.
It is Jaws.
I was gonna
Oh,
say
really?
that.
You just said
that's
it.
good.
Sucks.
No,
That was
but I
good.
just I thought it
I
was
didn't
like,
get that one. I thought it was Killer Croc.
When Jessica said, when
I was
Jessica
gonna
went
say
down,
Jaws, but I thought it was as humans.
That's okay. Sorry,
All right.
sorry. Okay, all right. So back over here to you guys.
Actually, the real villain in that movie was the mayor. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, but
Jaws was just being a shark. That's
that
all
was
he did.
Jaws from that was Jaws from Jaws the Revenge.
Okay. Okay.
That's the I'm gonna stalk you down to the Bahamas Jaws.
Oh gosh.
All right.
Oh no, wait. They swiped on that one.
I'm not the kind I'm not the kind of guy who waits 3 days to call. I like long strolls on a moonlit night. I'm just looking for someone to be real with. No masks. Need an answer.
Swipe.
Swipe. I'm not the kind of guy who waits 3 days to call. I like long strolls on a moonlit night. I'm just looking for someone to be real with. No masks. For double points.
Swipe.
All right. So now
Which
it's
one?
do or die.
Do you want to go for it?
Which one? It was probably that one because of the clawing.
All right. We're gonna go with the Ghostface killer from Scream.
The Ghostface killer from Scream is not correct.
Was it Jason?
No.
Oh,
We
we
were-
both wear masks.
We were looking for Majora.
Ah,
I'm not the
that-
kind of guy who waits 3 days to call.
Ah.
Long strolls in the
Oh,
moonlight.
moonlight. Yeah.
God.
That was
More
a
masks.
that was
Tuesday
good,
Legend
but
of
that was a
Zelda.
little bit of a stretch.
It was a hard one.
That was a
That was
hard
a
one.
hard one.
It was a hard
so
one.
wait, how
'Cause
many
I
points
was-
do we get for that then?
You don't get any points.
don't
They
get
just
any
lose
points?
30 points.
Yeah, they just lose 30
oh.
points.
Wait, they
Cool.
lose 30?
Because
Yeah.
they answered wrong.
They didn't get rid on the third one.
Should just swiped again.
All right, whose turn is it?
You can only swipe.
Ours.
It's your turn. Okay.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
right back to us for 30, so.
Okay.
right.
And this profile, who does this one belong to? You will swipe right, Jessica.
Oh. I know
Kilgrave.
Kilgrave. We'll take it. Kilgrave for 10 points.
Grav, whatever.
I would have
Kilgrave.
Da- David Tennant.
That's his continental pronunciation.
I would have just said the
I'm
purple
giving you
man.
5 points for the miss. No, I'm joking.
I'm gonna punch you in the face.
You will swipe right, Jessica.
I'm impressed by the fact that you knew his name and didn't call him just the purple
the
man.
Purple Man. Bad Doctor Who. Okay.
That evil who.
All right, over to you guys. I'm a West Coast girl looking for a real man to melt for. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about dancing in the rain. By the way, I never go out in the rain.
I totally wasn't paying attention to anything you said.
Need an answer.
Wicked Witch to the West?
It is the Wicked Witch of the West.
That was good.
Okay. Back over here to you guys.
West Coast girl.
Probably should have
Never goes out in the rain.
It never goes out in the rain. What? You think you can find somebody on here better than me? That's about as funny as a screen door on a battleship.
I'm gonna be so mad at this.
Go for it.
No, I don't. I can't think.
If you
I'm
don't know,
drawing
you
a
can
blank.
always swipe if you hope they don't know.
They know it though. Oh, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. Swipe.
Yeah.
Swipe.
Might be a strategy to answering it wrong rather than giving them the chance to get it right.
You already swiped.
All right, over here.
Is it Biff?
It is Biff Tannen from Back to the Future.
Give me points.
Those 4 years were
I already wrote them down.
Okay.
I wrote them down when I realized they weren't going to get it. I knew at least Neff was going to get it.
Okay, over here to you guys. I'm the type who enjoys problem solving and figuring out how things work. I'm looking for the athletic cheerleader type to talk to and get to know better. You know, really get in each other's heads. I'm the type who enjoys problem solving and figuring out how things work. Looking for the athletic cheerleader type to talk to and get to know better. You know, really get in each other's heads.
Swipe.
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 Double swipe.
That was quick.
I think I'm the only one that would have gotten this one.
It's a tough one.
Can you say it one more time?
I'm the type who enjoys problem solving and figuring out how things work. Looking for the athletic cheerleader type to talk to and get to know better. You know, really get in each other's heads. Need an answer?
Yep, nothing.
Who is it, Steven?
It is Siler from Heroes.
Siler.
Oh,
Okay,
from
what?
Heroes.
I didn't watch Heroes.
That was good. That's I
None
don't
of us
think
have seen Heroes.
I
It's
have.
not my
I-
fault.
I refuse to believe that Zachary Quinto is anything but good.
So do they lose points because they didn't answer?
They do. They lose 30 points. It was theirs. All right. I believe this is you guys, right?
This
Yeah.
broke.
Yeah.
A
Here.
big and tall boyfriend means there's even more of me to love. We'll have a smashing good time. Pick up some Japanese for dinner and enjoy a night, quite literally, on the town.
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah. Just swipe it. Just swipe it over here.
Go for it.
I don't know the name of it.
I don't know either. But
A
if we-
big and
if
tall
we swipe
boyfriend
it, they're gonna
means
get
there's
it.
even more of me to
So
love.
get it first, too.
We'll have a smashing good time, pick up some Japanese for dinner, and enjoy a night, quite literally, on the town.
If we swipe it, we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
Or you can answer.
Yeah, I was
wrong.
just gonna
Yes.
answer it
Just yes.
strategically because we're gonna get it wrong. The villain from Big Hero 6.
Good answer, but not correct. What was it?
Godzilla.
It was Godzilla.
Gojira.
Godzilla. Maybe a little bit misleading. He's not truly a villain, I guess.
Probably.
I can never
Depends
quite.
on the perspective.
I guess. I mean,
And
if
that
he's
means
stepping
we
on your
lose 10
house,
points, right?
he's no one's
He's
hero.
kind of the bad guy.
All right, so back to you guys.
Yes,
I
Jackie,
have
some
big
points.
dreams of being famous and hanging out with the stars, bling on every finger, but most nights I just sit alone in my favorite chair.
Thanos.
Thanos is correct.
Ooh. That's good.
Okay. Over to you guys. I'm into horseback riding and tennis. I just got out of an awkward love triangle, and I'm ready to find true love for my heart to contain. Full confession, I can be a bit of a pig sometimes.
It's Ganon.
It is Ganon.
I knew. I was.
We
so,
also
I was
would
like
have
hoping.
accepted Ganondorf.
Nope, just Ganon.
Oh,
I was
I'm
hoping
old
Jackie
school.
wouldn't get it, but I knew she probably would.
I would have quit right now if I got it wrong.
What was-
Walked
Especially
off
after
the
Majority.
What was
stage.
great was I
Well,
enjoyed
I haven't
horseback
played
riding
Majora's.
and tennis, and I was like, okay.
The tennis is tricky until you remember the way you have to
Yes.
fight
You
him
have to
in
fight him.
Ocarina.
Well, the only reason why I remember that is I think I saw a YouTube video of these guys redoing the game, and they actually played like ping pong
Yeah.
instead of fighting each other. It was kind of funny.
It was the love triangle thing that kind of like
For my heart to contain.
Yeah,
It was good.
I was like,
Are you writing all of these? These are brilliant.
I am. I wrote all of them.
These are brilliant. You're
Tony, you should make your own game.
Thank you.
And
When I was a
edit it.
child, I always told my mom I wanted to be a game show host, and she said, "You'll either be a game show host or a politician." I said,
Because
"Okay."
those are the same thing.
I said, like a she
Nowadays.
said you'll be like a comedian, game show host, or a politician. I said, you mean like John F. Comedy?
You mean like our president?
Hey!
You fired. All right, I lost my place, you guys. Okay,
Horseback riding was the last one you said.
this is a little bit of a layup.
Uh-oh.
Aw.
If you'll be my queen, you might have 99 problems, but a lich won't be one.
The Lich King Arthas.
The lich, yes, very good. That's
Poor
correct.
Jaina.
Of course, you got the World of Warcraft one.
Oh, okay. I was like, who? What?
Where?
that was my reaction as well.
Okay,
Who? What?
over to you guys.
Where?
I'm a career woman who still loves fun. I bring my dogs with me wherever I go, even though I travel a lot for work. And while I'm in the city, I'm looking for someone who holds the key to my heart. I'm a career woman who still loves fun. I always bring my dogs with me, even though I travel a lot for work. And while I'm in the city, I'm looking for someone who holds the key to my heart.
Joe Bennett,
Joe Bennett.
CEO of Saber.
Dunder Mifflin Saber.
Part of Saber.
Sabre.
It's pronounced Sabre.
Alright.
Feel the power of the pyramid.
Cruella DeVille.
Cruella DeVille, great guess, but that's not correct. Not correct. Over to you guys. Oh
No.
you don't.
No.
No, you got it wrong. So they got it wrong. So no points. No guess over there.
No.
Say it again.
I'm a career woman who still loves fun. I always bring my dogs with me, even though I travel a lot for work. While I'm in the city, I'm looking for someone who holds the key to my heart.
The Enchantress.
No, we were looking
idea.
for Gozer, the traveler.
I was about to say.
Gozer, the
yes.
Destructor.
Yeah.
I was like,
that?
it's from Ghostbusters.
Gozer the
Look at me,
Gozerian.
Steven. I hate you so much right now.
Dude,
Don't you look at me
You're
when
the
I
ghost. You're the Ghostbusters guy.
I'm gonna end you.
This rivalry has been building
You're getting
over
on my
several episodes.
last nerve right now.
Oh my god.
I didn't know.
You looked right at
Neff,
me.
was I offsides or was that
No.
one fair?
No, it's fair.
Okay, just want to
But
make sure.
Steven,
Okay,
I was looking at you happily because it was Ghostbusters.
we got
Yeah,
three
'cause I
more.
missed
We
it.
got three more.
Oh my.
Steven, what's the score right now?
I'd rather leave the score to the end.
Okay, fair enough. Fair
he
enough.
doesn't know the score right now.
Math is hard.
It is a close race currently.
Okay,
No, it's not.
Is it?
over to you guys.
It's a race.
Yeah.
It's a race.
Whatever.
I know dating sucks, but I love the nightlife. I'm a little flighty, but at least I'm not a miserable pile of secrets.
Still trying to think of what it is.
Is that dumb?
I know
It's
dating
our
sucks,
king,
but
right?
I love the nightlife. I'm a little flighty, but at least I'm not a miserable pile of secrets.
Swipe.
Swipe.
Swipe back.
Swipe back.
Oh, snap.
I'll read it one more time. I know dating sucks, but I love the nightlife. I'm a little flighty, but at least I'm not a miserable pile of secrets. What part of that clue jumps out to you? Any part of that sticks out that you feel like might be
Nightlife
relevant?
and miserable pile of secrets.
And flighty.
And flighty. All of it.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is a big chance for you guys to pull back ahead here
It
to get
is.
into the game. I know dating sucks, but I love the nightlife. I'm a little flighty, but at least I'm not a miserable pile of secrets.
Tinder's the worst.
Sure.
Sure, why not? Yeah. Let's blame Tinder.
I don't know, fam. Swipe.
You
No,
can't
you're
swipe
done
Oh,
anymore.
we can't.
You're
We're
done
done
now.
swiping.
So
You
you're
might as well take a guess.
Swipe or no
Take a
swiping?
guess.
That's a good guess.
Nightlife, flighty, sucks.
I'm gonna hate myself.
Don't hate yourself. It's not worth you hating yourself.
Oh.
Steven, who is it?
Is it Dracula?
It is Dracula.
Oh,
I
okay.
just wrote it down.
That's cool.
It's Dracula. He sucks.
So how many points do
Yeah.
we leave?
Where was it? Is Miserable Pile of
You lost
Secrets?
30
Is that
points.
from Castlevania Symphony in the Night?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Because I do recognize that.
I never played that.
Okay, over to you guys. Hello, ladies. I'm a doctor. Goo goo gajoob. Hello, ladies. I'm a doctor. Goo goo gajoob.
Oh,
I know this one.
Dr. Robotnik.
It is Dr. Robotnik.
Very
He's the
good.
Eggman.
He is the
Oh,
Eggman.
That's the Goo Goo Gajoob's the only reason why I get.
At first I thought Dr. Walrus.
Who's Dr. Walrus?
He's lonely and he's on Tinder. He just wants someone to rub his bristles and brush his long
Just
teeth.
like Lennon said.
What?
I'm the walrus.
Oh.
I am the walrus. Shut up, Donnie. You're out of your element.
Last one. You ready?
Sure.
Who does this go to? You guys. Fabulously fashionable cougar, looking to be spotted by the man of my dreams. Dog owner, a must.
Ugh.
Fabulously fashionable
Oh.
cougar, looking to be
Go for it,
spotted
Jay.
by the man of my dreams.
Go for it.
Dog owner, a must.
Is this one Cruella DeVille?
It is Cruella DeVille.
Boom.
Very good. Going out with a little momentum. Steven, what is our final score?
I'm adding them up
Can you
right
not
now.
say the score? We know that we lost. Like
think you guys
the
won.
score's gonna be like 10
We
to.
got hit with a couple of 30s.
They got a couple of those negative 30s, which is that's a tough one to bounce back from.
But they still got
Yeah,
tens.
they still got a whole bunch of it.
Steven, what's the score?
Hold on, I'm still adding it up.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously, I already added it up.
Okay, Jackie, what's the score?
It was 80 to 40.
80
No,
to-
that is not the
No?
score. You guys had 10 overall.
10
You
overall?
had a minus 30, which really hurt you.
That's what I'm talking
that
about.
what
Like
I-
we don't need to say the score. We know how low we are.
I think it was 80 to 10. I didn't finish adding it up.
Thank
they,
you, Steven.
Well, they got
'Cause
80,
they had
which
one-
They,
they-
totally
they
won,
eventually
regardless
had,
of
like,
that minus 30.
150.
How did that
and
happen?
then
Still
had a
took
lot
you
of
way too long to do that math.
You know what? Next time
No, I
EJ
was
says
adding-
just
I
skip
added-
the numbers, I'm just gonna skip the numbers.
Yes, please,
I'm
because
just
I
gonna-
knew it was gonna be that low.
just gonna
What was
go-
the point?
You guys
There's
got
no
a lot.
point
You
in
guys
sharing something like that.
You guys got low points not because you didn't answer questions correctly. It's because you had one big thing that answered it wrong. That was it. So like you guys got almost as many questions answered correctly. They had a lot of bigger numbers answered because of the swiping.
Well, the nice thing is, we put these games out there not so that we can see who wins or who loses. It's so that people in the listening audience can play along from their.
They can
their-
play alone.
They can
Play
play
alone.
while they're sitting
By
alone on their
themselves.
favorite chair. They can play along with
With their
us
jewelry.
while they're driving in their cars, working out at the gym. Who am I kidding?
Their journey.
Or sitting in their dorm rooms. So thank you guys for playing along with us. Not everybody can win, but everybody can play along and have fun. All right. And now we have a segment. We're going to talk about some new things that just came out, and it is some movie trailers. Some of them were good, and some of them were terrifying, and we're going to talk about it real quick in a little segment that we call the Trailer Park. So the first one that I want to talk about real quick, I want to get this one just out of the way because conversationally it's a minefield, and that is the Last Jedi trailer, the final Last Jedi trailer, which the director of the movie himself said, don't watch this trailer if you want to go into the movie clean. Are spoilers a big deal to you? Or
Yes.
Would you
Yeah, I was
rather?
gonna cover my ears because I purposely didn't watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You
I
guys
didn't
can
watch.
talk.
I didn't watch it either.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
cover
didn't-
my ears.
I didn't
or
watch it either. That's
I'll
what I'm
walk
saying.
out and somebody just like
No.
I didn't watch it. I'm assuming Jessica didn't watch it, but has
didn't
already
watch
read
it
the
either.
spoilers for the movie.
No, I watched it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say anything.
So don't say anything.
Well, we're not going to talk about it because
Okay.
I intentionally didn't watch it because when the
me
director
too.
says don't watch this movie, it's going to spoil things. Man, I hate it when I go into a movie and something happens and I saw it coming
Yeah.
because the trailer ruined it.
Yep.
yeah.
I hate it. I hate it when there's a great line of dialogue or a great funny moment that I'm like, oh, I already saw that.
Yeah.
Or the reverse, you see something in the trailer that you wanted to see,
And it's not in the movie.
Like for example,
Yes.
when Jen was gonna go against a TIE fighter, that didn't happen in the in
And
Third
there was
Row.
so much in Rogue One that
I'm
was
like,
cut and different.
Or even in Spider-Man: Homecoming, they have that shot in the trailer of Spider-Man swinging through the city next to Iron Man, and it wasn't in the movie.
Yeah, it's like that's kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that messes me up. But I'm to the point, I used to love trailers so much that I would go to movies just because, but this was pre-internet days, I would go to movies just because they were going to be showing the trailer for a certain movie in that. I went and saw the second Harry Potter movie just because they had a Star Wars trailer before it. But now, putting out a trailer, they have trailers for trailers. Like tomorrow, see the trailer for such. And
Here's a trailer teaser.
yeah. And trailers are such a big deal. And of course, in the way the social media works, I get it. They get watches, they get views, they get clicks, they get shares. People talk about them, and it's fine and good. But they have to put so much stuff. Steven, you were the one that was telling me that the movie studios actually intentionally put
Yes.
spoilers.
Yeah, now The Last Jedi probably doesn't need this, but still, if you're going to get as much money as you can, go ahead. But they've done, from what I understand, they've done research recently, and movies that have, like, their last trailer has a little bit of spoilers in them tend to get more ticket sales leading up to the movie in between that last trailer and the movie, rather than a movie that doesn't have a whole lot of spoilers in it, and the trailer doesn't have a lot of spoilers in it before then. So they get more ticket sales, means they're going to make more money. So if a movie studio is like, you know what, all we want is, technically all we're doing this for is money, the studio, not like the director or anything. It's just like, we're just going to go ahead and do that. We're going to get more money that way. Which makes sense in a business sense. But from a consumer, I don't like that because I don't want my movie spoiled for me based on the trailer.
Yeah, and it's a difficult thing to balance because, like, there's been some and even Star Wars is notorious for it. Before Star Wars Episode 1 came out, they had a release date for the action figures, and it was a couple weeks before the movie came out. And I remember going and lining up at Toys R Us at midnight. It was before there was a thing called Force Friday, and we waited, and they brought the cases out, and they let people in. We were in line outside the building, and we basically bought the entire line of Star Wars action figures because you have to think, this is the first time that we were able to buy Star Wars action figures with new characters in it in years, in 20 years, and I guess 15 years at that point. We were so excited about that. So I went in and I bought my Qui-Gon, I bought my Darth Maul, I bought my Anakin, my Jar Jar, my naked C-3PO, I bought my Rick Oley and my Chancellor Valorum. I didn't know who any of these people were. I thought Rick Oley was going to be a big part of the Star Wars universe now. It's like, oh, Rick Oley, who's this guy? Nobody. But it was bothering me because when I bought it, they had two different waves of figures available on the same night, and one of them was it was the Padme Nabiri, and one of them was the Queen Amidala. Obviously, both Natalie Portman. And I'm like, well, there's a spoiler now. Now I know that when you see Padme in this movie, that she's really Amidala. Now, I mean, I was smart enough to know that with the makeup on, that was still Natalie Portman. I mean, I get that, but that was a potential spoiler.
Yeah.
You know, she really, because there's a moment in the movie where it's like, I am the queen, and it's like, oh yeah, I know, I have the toy.
Yeah.
I have the toy and the giant scan reader that's based on like a woman's leg shaving device that I can put them on there, and that's like two people understand what I'm talking about.
I
if you
don't
get
get that at all.
Yeah, but if you know, you
You
know.
lost me.
I just got my nerd cred back. But I hate that they spoil things with toys. I wish I didn't know. Like Finn, I see the figure of Finn, and he's wearing the Imperial uniform.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to know
didn't know
that.
that.
Yeah, I don't want to. I wish I didn't know what a porg was. I still don't really know
Yeah,
what a
we-
porg is.
Wait, is this for Last Jedi?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
wearing an
yeah.
Imperial
Yeah.
I'm
uniform?
kind of excited.
We got a little pop toy in at my job, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't remember this from the last movie.
Yeah.
I only
They
saw
look
it once,
cute.
but
He could be a spy.
They might be the Ewoks.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
They could be.
little
I still
forest
like-
penguin.
They're really cute looking.
I don't even know. When did they do the whole whole porg thing? Because I haven't seen that.
That's just I don't know. I've just seen the
thing
toys.
from the
Oh.
from Last Jedi.
I know that, but like when was it?
Even
like in a trailer?
BB-9E. I've never seen
Or
BB-9E
is it just
except
toys?
for the toys.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, still, that would have been cool to find out. I can't tell you what a
There
porg
was
looks like.
there was like one
like a
quick
forest penguin.
second of a
Forest
Porg
penguin?
in
Forest.
the teaser trailer, like the first trailer they released.
Yeah, but I don't.
There was
but
a quick shot of a Porg, and that's it.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to watch that new trailer.
No.
If
I
Ryan
don't
Johnson
either.
says don't watch it, I'm not watching it. And people comment on it online, so you got to be very deft with your eyes. Like as soon as you see it, it's like avert.
Yeah, and it's tough because I want to see it.
But that's what happened when I was watching a YouTube video like the day that we went and saw episode 7 in theaters. I was watching a YouTube video. I was looking through the comics of the thing, and all of a sudden it just says Han Solo dies in the new Star Wars, and I'm like, what?
Why would you do that?
What's funny is maybe
nobody
that
had-
person was just joking, like just put a random fake spoiler.
As they turned
The
out to be
video
true.
had
Luke is Rey's
nothing.
father. Wait, what?
The
Neff,
video had nothing to do with
Neff,
Star
you need to
Wars.
realize that anything on the internet the day of a movie comes out,
Yeah, the
you stay
internet.
away.
The internet hates you.
Like
Oh yeah, I've learned that
it just
now.
wants to ruin things.
before the Dark Knight Rises came out, and I'm giving a warning, I'm about to spoil the Dark Knight Rises
Oh.
because it's important to the story. I went and saw it with my buddy Mike, that everyone here knows, but the podcast doesn't know. And we went to we couldn't see it midnight, so we went later on the day that it came out. And as we're going there, we're getting gas, and Mike's on his phone while we're getting gas, and he just goes, "Oh crap!" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I'm not gonna say anything to you, but somebody responded. Somebody I follow on Facebook commented on a post, so it showed up on my timeline of this dude I don't follow, who literally posted all the spoilers for the movie. I guess I can say that rather than
What
spoil
a
the movie.
jerk.
So like, Mike went into the movie knowing every single spoiler just because his friend commented negatively on this dude.
Is anybody else
it.
just done with social media now? Like, I'm serious. Like, I hate Facebook. I hate everything on Facebook.
I've been off for about 2 months now.
Which
yeah.
is hard because that's how you make money. That's your job.
Yeah, I'm always
no,
like, how's EJ?
I say on Instagram. Instagram's my bread and butter. But yeah, no, you're right because
That's
all
why
the
you
social medias
just
help.
post on don't just post unfollow everybody on Ness.
Yeah.
Like unfollow so you don't have to look at their posts and just post on there and then don't do anything.
Yeah, just go to get Hootsuite and just post everything to Hootsuite and
Dude,
never go
that's
to
not a
Instagram.
bad
Everything for
idea.
you.
That's true.
I'll post to
Except for
everything.
Instagram.
So let's get past Star Wars, which I like trailers. I like when a new trailer drops, I get excited about it. But man, I hate to have things spoiled for me.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a trailer that I wish I wouldn't have watched.
Oh my gosh.
What do you guys think about the New Mutants?
Ugh.
Stupid.
The new
What?
X-Men movie. It's not really a reboot, but it's just sort of like a next chapter of the franchise.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll say this. Although I personally don't care for the way that they're doing this, I do appreciate that they're trying to tell a story in a new medium. Not new medium, but in a different way, in a new genre. So although I don't care for the genre because it looks like a straight up horror movie,
Yeah.
and I don't really
this and this movie does. I mean,
Yeah.
it's got a very Shutter Island kind of feel to it. It's got a very like we're in the asylum. I mean, very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And again, these are kids. I mean, they're definitely young teenage age mutants.
One of them from Stranger Things.
And they're and then of course the obligatory let's get someone from Game of Thrones in this so that we can validate it. I mean, by the
Oh, yeah,
time
'cause they did that in
the
the
X-Men
other one.
franchise is going to be just the
my
cast of Game of
gosh.
Thrones by the time it's all done. And now Sean Bean is Magneto.
oh, he's dead.
he's
He's
dead.
gone.
Uh,
No, like
Sean Bean dies a lot.
Emma Frost is coming.
if I had watched that trailer without seeing the title, I would not have known that it was for X-Men
No.
until
Yes.
they
Yeah.
mentioned mutants.
But, yes.
Which
And
I think
even
is
then,
very
I might have
bad.
not known that it was
Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah.
If they took out the
Like-
Marvel logo, it would have just been
I
another
would have just
horror
been like,
thing.
this is a horror movie and I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an X-Men movie. I still don't want to see
So
it.
let me ask you this: if you don't like that genre, because I'm not a horror movie fan.
No.
In fact, we'll talk about
neither.
this a little bit later on. I'm not a horror movie fan. Does the fact that it is a Marvel movie make it more palatable, or do you say I'm not even going to go see that Marvel movie because I don't like that genre of film?
I'm not
I
going to see it because I don't like the
yeah,
genre.
I have no desire to go see the movie because it looks like a horror movie. I don't really care for horror movies myself, so I have no desire to go see it. Like I wish it was something different, because then I could want to go see it.
And it's for me, it's not that big of a deal because for some reason, even though I like the X-Men, for some reason the X-Men movies, they don't have a draw for me. Like I don't have a compulsion to watch X-Men. I don't think I watched Apocalypse until probably 3 months ago.
I still
same-
haven't watched
same here.
Apocalypse.
I still haven't watched Logan. I still
You have
Now
Logan.
Logan was good.
but I'm saying like Deadpool and Logan and those
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
Like I didn't feel like I need to go see this. When a Marvel movie comes out, I'm opening day. I'm right there.
Yeah.
But when the X-Men movies come out, I'm like,
Yeah.
There's definitely a different style with the way they do it. And one thing that I heard somebody who was reacting to the trailer. They talked about how Fox has been doing a lot of, like Steven was saying, the genre bending type stuff, or making it instead of just a regular superhero movie like an Iron Man type movie or Captain America, the First Avenger types. Well, even Captain America, the First Avenger was like a political war movie, and then you get to what was it? Days of Futures Past is a like a time what am I thinking of?
I don't know. You want to take some notes and then try again? So
I'm not gonna try it all.
They have different genres of films. I mean, even the initial Marvel launch from Iron Man through. I mean, Thor was sort of your Shakespearean epic. Captain America: First Avenger was definitely a period piece. The Winter Soldier was your political thriller. I get that.
So good.
But taking it so far off the mainstream.
Yeah.
Acceptable or not? What is okay? So they come out with a Star Wars horror movie.
No, it would never work.
Why?
Because I think this for me I think it's because their franchise is so solid. I feel like they don't. It's almost gimmicky. I feel like maybe the horror movie or the genre bending is almost like a gimmick because they don't have a lot of what's the word, maybe substance, or their foundation isn't strong enough like Star Wars. I mean, they have a strong foundation. They don't need to do a horror movie or a funny movie or some type of like Deadpool-esque funny movie or a horror movie. They don't need to do any of that. They could just stick straight to what they've always been doing because it's solid. And I feel like when you think about Fox or maybe Sony, like some of their movies that come out, they're just sometimes it can be kind of gimmicky. So.
And maybe it's because, hey, we're putting out an X-Men movie with no X-Men that you know or care about.
Yeah.
And I know that, I mean, I know people know who Sunspot is or people know who Cannonball is that are comic book fans, but there's no Cyclops, there's no Jean Grey, there's no Storm, there's no Wolverine.
Not even an X-23, which is the only character I know that's been in the New Mutants.
So they have a brand new franchise. So they take the genre and they kind of take it in a little bit of a different direction. Is this the X-Men universe's Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, because here's the thing. I'm just looking at the Marvel movies. You have all these different movies that are their own stories, and you can even say their own genres. Although I like to say they're more like little bits and pieces. Or more like homages to types of movies, but they're overlying. They're all the same story. They're all Marvel superheroes. Good triumphs. Like you have the idea that like all these fit, and then you have New Mutants, which is a horror movie. And unless this is just like a teaser kind of trailer, like it's not really going to be a horror movie. It's going to be more suspenseful, and we're just going to have it be kind of creepy. But it's not going to be a horror movie. That doesn't fit in with the other stories that they have been telling. Even you can change the genre up, but to completely reinvent the stories that you're telling, or try to add something completely different, it doesn't fit. It's it's like the wrong puzzle piece. You can try to force it in there, but it's not going to work. So it may be from the right box, but it ain't going to fit where you're trying to put it in there.
And do you think that's going to be, considering the way that people see movies or consume movies, do you think it's going to be a step in the wrong direction for them, or that it's actually going to bring in people that might not ordinarily go see an X-Men movie?
I think you may have people that'll go see it not even really knowing it's an X-Men movie, and somehow.
Which I saw it on the trailer. It definitely says The New Mutants, but when I think you look it up on IMDb or when you look up reports on it, the actual title is X-Men: The New Mutants.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's coming out in April, which is always a gamble for a movie because it's like right before the summer blockbuster. It's right in between like one of the worst time for movies and one of the best time.
I believe
for movies.
A couple weeks ago, Jessica confirmed that summer starts in March.
Beginning. Well, still, I'm just saying. April is still an iffy thing. Captain America: First Avenger came out in April, but it's a weird time. It's a weird placement for the movie, especially for a horror movie because horror movies don't tend to come out in April.
Yeah, they usually come out around this time.
Yeah, I mean you have horror movies that come out throughout the year, but most of them will come out around this time because this is the bread and butter time.
Do you think it's possible that the movie is not as horrific of a movie as they let on in the first trailer?
I think that's the thing.
It was released on Friday the 13th.
That's true.
And also,
it's the time of Halloween, so that comes up a lot of hype for it. Also, I mean, the way I look at it is the X-Men universe has sort of superficially looked at, what they went through at the hands of Stryker and all these other people who were experimenting on them and all that other stuff at Alkali Lake. No one's really dived into what really went on except for with Logan. So can you imagine teenagers going through this?
Yeah.
That is what makes it horrific. And I think that's what it's going to be looking like.
And that's a valid storyline. I mean, it's a valid character exploration. I just wonder if maybe it's not going to be as asylum-y as they're making it out to be.
I think that's the case because what's happening right now, we're talking about it.
Yeah,
that's what they want. They don't care what kind of movie right now but they want people to talk about it because now we're talking about it. We're talking to a microphone that's getting played to our listeners, and they're going to hear about it, and they may talk about it too.
Now you got me mad. Enough free press for 20th Century Fox.
No more.
Enough free press for those whack movies.
Okay, so there's another
To the mines
you go. There is. Remember, you can get your Terrigen Mines Adelan the Moon T-shirt as a one-of-a-kind giveaway. We'll let you know how to do that.
I'm going to be super jealous of whoever gets that because I want one.
Yes, you want
How
it.
can I win one?
You can win one by waiting to the end of this episode. And let me tell you. Yeah. So the next one, a little movie, and I love when we get to talk about like independent films that are sort of like have the art feel to it, and because they're easy to miss. So when we talk about them, I feel like we're really kind of giving them a little push and a little bit of press. But there's a movie coming out about an African fellow who has superpowers. He is the Black Panther. Have you guys heard of this?
It looks like a cute little genre flick.
Cute little rom-com, maybe.
It's a romp.
What do you guys think about Black Panther?
I like the pastels that they used in there.
It is. I had to watch it quickly. I watched two of these the two trailers that we're talking about.
And you're going to do a Trailer Park video.
We are. I need to watch it again because I watched both the two trailers that we're talking about.
Review plus two?
Review plus 2. Yeah. I watched both these trailers quickly and once. I watched New Mutants once because I didn't want to watch it again. Black Panther, I just haven't had time. I watched it yesterday.
What was your gut level, just first reaction from Black Panther?
It looks
so awesome.
It looks really cool, and I don't know who Michael B. Jordan's character is, but I want to see him throughout the movie. He looks so cool.
He's his character. Well, you see him get into that golden suit. They say he's the Golden Jaguar.
Oh.
That's gonna be that's his character.
It makes it seem like they have all these different little cat personalities, and it's a little more like Power Ranger, My Little Pony-esque.
But it looks really cool. They got a lot of big name actors too. They got the lady.
I'm the Green Puma.
They got the lady.
I'm David S. Pumpkins. Any questions?
Ay, papi.
Okay, but Black Panther.
It
looks awesome.
It looks so cool.
It looks so good.
I don't know a whole lot about Black Panther,
Same.
and I'm kind of going to keep it that way because I like going into comic book movies knowing a lot about the characters and then be like, oh, they did that right. Oh, that's really in the character. But it's like with Guardians of the Galaxy, I was very happy to go in and know some background, but not know a lot about the characters because it's easy for me to really appreciate them more. If they
And a
give me
lot
to
of
like
people
them,
said that about Guardians was one, Doctor Strange was another one. People, I don't really know this character, but they went in there and they loved it.
yes.
And one of the reasons why is because Marvel does a good job building up their characters and giving you information, which is why with Marvel movies, I'm okay with not reading up on the characters. When it comes to DC movies, I'm like, crap, I need to read this up because they're going to assume I know everything and I'm going to be lost.
Well, let me ask you this. Going into the movie, before you ever see it, do you care about the character Black Panther?
I do a little bit because of Civil War.
Because of Civil War.
Because of Civil
They've
War.
already given us a reason we sympathize with him. He
Mm-hmm.
lost his father because of Baron Zemo. You know,
who he thinks is Winter Soldier.
yeah. But we already have a compassionate thing. We know he's brave. We know he's strong. We know he's heroic. I mean, we have an understanding of just the outside of his world, and I think that Marvel's really going to try to take advantage of bringing us through the curtain into the
I'm
world
really
of
excited
Wakanda.
about it.
See,
I'm so excited about
my
that.
my first interaction with Black Panther was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and he became instantly my favorite character on there. So I read up as much as I could. I didn't read the comics, but I went and looked up a bunch of stuff about him. And then BET came out.
The animated show.
Yeah, came out with an animated show,
Yeah.
and I watched every single episode
Yeah.
when I was 12,
Yeah.
13,
I
something
still
like
have
that.
that on my iPod.
That show is cool. The animation is cool too.
Teeny little screen, but it was good.
It's a really cool show. So
Black Panther's a cool character and an
he's so
interesting
cool.
character. He's one of those guys in the Marvel universe, outside of the movies, that like Namor or like those other ones. He smack talks, but he can back it up.
oh yeah.
But he's not necessarily like cut and dry. Like I'm Captain America. I fight for what's right. Like sometimes he does things that people don't necessarily like, but he's like, say something.
One
I
of
don't care.
my favorite things is he did it a couple times in the trailer. It's when he's walking up and he has like his arms out like, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and he does it like several times because he has it with
excited.
the suit on. He's about to walk up. We got his claws all out, ready to go.
But everything that he does, and this is why I think it's a really cool direction for a Marvel character, because he's got the strength of like a Captain America, and he's got the tech of an Iron Man, but he moves like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
He's got the spirit of the panther.
But he's not like encumbered by the armor, and
No.
he's not like he can
Because
really
one
move, like
with him.
yeah, he's going to be able to do some things that we've never seen any Marvel characters
I'm
do.
so
excited.
I like when he runs on the wall on the side of the building and jumps off and then like goes after
When
the
his
tire.
suit turned purple.
He doesn't play around either. He went straight for that tire.
And Andy Serkis is nuts.
Dude, okay,
You
his
never
hand.
go wrong with Andy Serkis.
Okay,
his
okay,
claw.
No, his hand, because the way they did it, I'm sure it's to save from having to do prosthetics, but they made it look like a regular hand. And then when he shot his cannon off, I don't know if you saw it because it was really quick. His hand opened up in half, and that's where the sonic cannon came out of.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
him instead of just having like a
I'll have to
regular
watch it
claw,
again and see
he
that.
has a hand that like has all the stuff in the hand.
Body by Bose.
It's so dope. It's so cool.
See, now what I'm wondering, once again, I know very little about the Black Panther universe, is a little like the area that they travel to in the trailer. It looks like an alien planet, but I'm assuming that's just like in the jungles of Wakanda.
Yeah,
super
Wakanda
hidden.
is like, but they're
they're spaceships.
They're a super technical. They're the most
They're
technologically
advanced.
advanced. They're like
Yeah.
Atlantis.
That's like, see, I didn't know that. That's really cool.
It's a weird like mixture of like an African tribe people where it's like very simple, but at the same time they're very advanced.
Yeah, it's the Lion King meets Treasure Planet.
It's very
like,
cool.
So
It's the
exciting.
best and the worst of
It's
90s
so
Disney
exciting.
cartoons. Yeah, it's going to be really, really good. One more trailer, and I don't know if you guys even saw this because this one got no play at all. So it would have been easy to miss. Did anybody see the trailer for Runaways?
No.
I saw that
What's
it was
that?
there, but
What
I
is
didn't
that?
watch it.
Runaways is a show that's on. What is it even on? Is it on
Freeform.
Is it on Freeform?
Or is it Hulu?
Oh.
It's Hulu.
It's Hulu.
Runaways
So there's
on
another
Hulu.
show
Cloak
coming
and
on.
Daggers on Freeform.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the Marvel show.
Marvel
Yeah, see,
show.
I didn't watch it because
But
I don't have Hulu and I refuse to pay for Hulu, so I didn't want to like get like caught up in wanting to watch
I will say this: I saw the trailer, and I was a fan of the Runaways comic book. I read it really regularly for the first large part of their run, and it looks great. It looks very
Really?
true to the comics.
It looks interesting.
I'll be interesting to see it.
And it was just interested that they're making a show because I thought that would make a good show with the very little that I know of the comics, like just their initiation of the story.
Yeah, you got a bunch of kids that come together once a year when their parents have like a little club, and they all come together, and they're all from different areas of life, and so the kids have just been together since they've been little together, and they're teenagers now, and they're like, this is boring, this sucks, and they accidentally stumble into the room where their parents are like sacrificing someone because they're all like top level supervillains, and they're like, this sucks, and then they're
Sketchy.
So then they have to run away because their parents know that they know, and they don't want it. So they freak out and they leave. And along the way, they all sort of either inherit, snatch, or become aware of the fact that they have the same powers that their parents have. So they all kind of get these gifts and become a superhero team.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's
But-
not what I got from the
Actually sounds
trailer
kinda
at all,
cool.
but maybe I didn't finish the trailer. That's probably why. I was because
he just watched X-Men.
I had the same problem with Cloak and Dagger. Is I've never heard. That's like a deep cut comic book that I've never heard of.
But they were really huge just back in the day.
So it was like one of those things like a Flash thing where it was like really quickly, not like the comic book Flash, but like it was a quick series. It was like a mini series.
No, Cloak and Dagger were mainstay characters throughout the 70s and 80s, and they were even involved as side characters through in Runaways. They were in Runaways, I think, issue
Cloak
2.
and Dagger was an Ultimate Spider-Man.
Cloak and
the
Dagger,
animated
yeah,
series.
they've been in a lot of stuff. So you got two teenage runaways that end up having these kind of opposite but compatible powers.
Community.
You know, where she creates light and he envelopes all darkness, but she's the only one who can live kind of inside of his darkness. Complementary, so symbiotic, whatever it is. But I'm interested to see that. That's a little bit of a reach. So you go like when you are making the deep cuts of like, was anybody asking for this? You know,
right.
Or was somebody going, hey, we have a network, we'd like to have our own Marvel show too.
All right, fine, you get Squirrel Girl.
It's like when you have like the 5 o'clock in the afternoon appointment at the dentist and there's nothing left in the toy box at the end except for like a weird tattoo of a pirate and half of a Super Ball, and you're like, well,
I guess
I'll take the toothbrush, whatever, you know. So that's and because what else is there? It's like somebody. Did you just say Squirrel Girl?
I did.
Oh my goodness! So
I would like to be cast as Squirrel Girl.
you could do it. You have my
the
vote.
comic book that got rebooted twice in the same year.
I started watching. I started reading Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
The Kamala Khan, the Islamic, the Muslim girl.
Oh, with the big hand?
Yeah, with the big hand. Because it's free. With my Amazon Prime, you can get free comic books.
Nice.
Which is,
Oh, wow.
Really?
yes, you can.
What? How? Tell me how, because I have Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime is not a sponsor, so I will tell you off the air.
Okay.
But I've been reading that. It's really good stuff. Let us know what you think about these trailers, whether it's the last... No, you know what? Don't let us know about The Last Jedi. Keep your mouth shut. You can let us know on
If you
December,
know about
on December 16th. You can let us know. One of the things that we did last week on Friday, they put the tickets on sale, and I forgot that they were putting them on sale, and I was having a conversation with the Christian nerd, Scott Higa, who was texting me and saying, yeah, I'm having no luck buying Star Wars tickets. And I went, I need to buy Star Wars tickets. So I got online, and for about 2 hours, I fought with the servers trying to get it in line, find a theater that had seats that would work, and I finally found some seats for a show, and I got 9 tickets, 9 in a row. I got enough for all of us and a couple other friends, so my treat for you guys that we get to go see the movie together, and then we'll come back and we'll record and we'll talk about Star Wars.
I'm excited.
Not really a tradition that we'd ever actually established before, but we did do it last time a Star Wars movie came out, so I guess we do it a second time. It makes it a tradition, right?
We've gone to see at least on opening day. Like we saw episode 7 opening day. We saw Rogue One opening night, and then we're seeing this one opening day.
Yeah.
Rogue One though was kind of coincidental because we were at
we did a live event at a Christian nightclub restaurant
cafe.
Well, it was
Cafe is
night,
its title.
and they had flashing lights, and to a man of my age, that's a discotheque.
But legally,
Cafe Disco.
legally it's not a club.
Whatever.
Disco.
Legally, it's not a club.
Well, they were welcoming and inviting, and when I came in, I felt like I was part of the club. Whose alarm is going off?
It's time to
Is
wake
that your
up.
alarm?
Nefri.
You're fired.
It's time to wake up.
What is your alarm set for 10 o'clock at night? Why did you set an alarm for 10?
Neff.
Nothing. Don't worry about
You got to go somewhere? You got to call somebody?
No.
You got to take medicine?
Don't worry about it.
Get it.
Don't make sure it's Disney.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's
Mr. I was texting
Mr.
on my phone in the first half of the. I
clandestine.
see you looking like this.
Earlier in the episode, I picked up my phone and I told you guys I
Boy.
needed to do something, so keep talking. I was texting Neff telling him to put his phone down. So I was on my
We
phone.
also told him set an alarm for 10 o'clock. We'll make a very awkward moment out of it.
Well, now that Neff's alarm has gone off, we are reminded that it's time for the best thing ever. Here's a real quick
Ever.
one. Last week, I'm not even going to look it up. Star Fox versus Captain Picard. Anybody want to actually look it up and check it out, or do we just
Picard.
know?
I forgot that happened,
Yeah,
Picard.
Picard won. I don't
Wait.
even.
Let's
In a
make sure.
landslide.
What if, like, somehow Star Fox
Like
won?
all the
No,
Star Fox
I
people
checked
came out of the
before
woodwork.
We recorded.
Okay,
It was
so-
like 75%.
Yeah,
or
okay.
more,
So
something like
Picard
that.
won. That's
It
kind of a layup. Tonight, Flash Gordon versus Buzz Lightyear.
Oh.
Now this is actually going to be a little bit tougher than you think, because I don't know. Like the Flash Gordon holds a very special place in my heart, especially like the late 70s, early 80s. I think it was the Dino De Laurentiis, Sam Jones Flash Gordon, Max von Sydow was Ming the Merciless. I loved that movie growing up. Soundtrack by Queen. So to me, Flash Gordon could be a real contender here.
There's even a TV series.
Of Flash Gordon? Mm-hmm. Yeah, a garbage TV series.
I didn't see it.
It was garbage.
It was at Target.
Oh, it was garbage.
Yeah.
Animated or
Flash
live action?
No, live
belongs in the
action.
trash.
Garbage.
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 I'm going to tell you, garbage would take this DVD out. That's how bad
Oh, wow.
the live action Flash Gordon series was.
And even a Blu-ray.
I'm going to explain to you one more time how terrible it was.
Why was it so bad?
There was not. It made the Inhumans look like the Avengers.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not kidding.
Oh.
Bad sets, bad acting, bad dialogue, bad writing, bad concept.
How was Buzz Lightyear Star Command?
Wonderful.
Boom. You have your winner.
No.
Yes.
No.
That show was amazing. I
Can-
watched
can-
it every
can you
morning
have
before I went to
Scott
school.
Plus, Buzz Lightyear.
You know why you
was-
like Buzz Lightyear Star Command? Because it's just Green Lantern with Buzz Lightyear in it. Yes, it really is.
Or does,
Shots
he,
fired.
or does he like Green Lantern because he's like Buzz Lightyear? Star
Oh,
Command?
it might have been a
Is-
precursor.
Is that a valid correlation? Buzz Lightyear Star
Now
Command?
that I think about it, it
really
probably
is.
was.
It is, isn't
It
it?
probably was.
Neff's mind. Look, y'all can't see Neff's eyes the way I can right now. His mind is
Trying to open
working.
them up
He's
more.
like, wait
You
a
see
second.
my eyes, Nicholas?
Wait a second. The gears are turning.
All right, so you can vote for this on our website, Twitter, actually. You can go on Twitter and twitter.com/nerdgodcast and make your vote. It'll be live by the time you hear this for our best thing ever, Flash Gordon versus Buzz Lightyear. And now it's time for Neff News.
Hey everybody, welcome to Neff News. My name is Neff. Today's news is brought to you by Deep Dish Pizza.
Oh.
For when your love of cheese meets your hate of hours spent on a toilet.
I prefer hand
No.
tossed.
I'm not saying that
Next
wasn't funny,
one.
but I was like, man, I know that feel, bro.
You know how that is?
Well, not like deep dish pizza.
Why am I
TMI.
sitting here?
TMI.
No,
Okay.
like
I need
everybody.
to move.
This
Listen, I
stemmed
read a
from-
book when I was a child called Everybody Poops.
We went to this
we had an
stems
episode
from
called A Game of Thrones about pooping.
Tony and I went to a place with some of our friends on Sunday
We did.
called Giordano's.
Yes.
Which-
Great
and we
Chicago-style deep dish pizza.
We had this deep dish pizza, but it
Yes.
was so much cheese,
So much cheese.
Love cheese.
and it was a long night. I'll just keep it at that.
I had a leftover
was
slice.
a
It was
long-
delicious.
I went into a food coma for about
I'm not
7
gonna joke. I'm not
hours.
gonna lie, dude. The minute I got home, I died. I fell asleep until like bedtime. I woke up at bedtime.
Is that why we couldn't go to the movies, Neff?
Maybe.
Because you're in a food coma? Because you said we can't make it, and I said
I woke up at 8:00 and the movie started at 9, and we kept on trying to go there at
You texted me at like 6:30.
So it's time
I was
for the
having-
Neff News.
Back to the news.
in comic book news. By the way, this is a slow news week. So I only have two news stories.
That's all right. Well, it's already late, so
It's a rough one.
blast through it.
DC Comics, specifically Jeff Johns, is releasing their next big rebirth event, Doomsday Clock. in which
Wait,
they
hold
wa-
on. Steven took his
Are you
headphones
going
off
to the bathroom?
I've
and
inspired him.
and then said, I have to go to the bathroom. And tried to get out of here discreetly
No, that was.
by running behind you. I mean,
Like a
he
pack of
could've-
elephants
He could have fully
rampaging
gone.
across the
He could have gone
Serengeti.
straight. He could have gone to the left, but he went directly behind you. He did everything but climb over you and sit on your lap, kiss you on the cheek on his way out.
which I would
That's
have.
the quickest way out.
Yeah,
When
clearly.
you gotta go.
Well,
you gotta go.
it came on him quick. So anyway, I apologize, but
Someone did not have their deep dish pizza.
so speaking of rebirth, let's try to rebirth this segment.
Oh no. Comic book news. DC Comics, specifically Jeff Johns, is releasing their next big rebirth event, Doomsday Clock, in which the Watchmen crossover into the DC universe. This is the biggest crossover since Batman meets Spider-Man, Alien meets Predator, or Archie meets the Punisher.
Yes,
You remember that?
real things.
Oh yeah.
Real things.
All these things happened.
Well, Superman fought Muhammad Ali.
Oh.
True
Because
story.
he had his powers
True
taken
story.
away. Just a regular
story.
man. True story. And in movie news, the standalone Han Solo film has an official title. Drum roll. Solo, a Star Wars film. Star Wars story.
Solo.
That's it.
That's it?
That's the whole title. This original title opens doors for films yet to come. Stark, a Marvel story. The Duck, a Howard story. And Luke Picard, a Star Trek story.
Wait, what?
Luke Picard.
It's just Picard.
Where's the Luke?
It's his
It's
first name
Jean-Luc.
is Jean-Luc.
That's a stupid name. How did Star Fox lose to this guy? This has been Neff News. Have a good day and a blessed
A
tomorrow.
very quick but very effective Neff News. Thank you so much. So it's the Wookiee's back.
Okay, no, it was a bad idea. Running back in here and then putting on that mask. That was a terrible daggum idea.
It's an exercise in hyperventilation and smelling Neff's, face residue.
Yeah.
That was in there.
What's wrong with my face residue?
No, I mean, I don't know, but
You're sweaty.
No, but I
Oh,
took
my
a shower.
face
I
residue?
smell
But you
good.
still sweat.
I'm
I
not
don't think
sweaty,
anybody's face
though.
residue is good.
I'm not sweaty.
nobody
I didn't have
is
to sweat
putting
in the
on
mask.
nobody's putting on a rubber hood coated in yak hair and not sweating, not exploding
I didn't
something.
sweat. We were in an air conditioned.
Then
No,
why is your
but you-
face
but you-
glistening?
But you,
Just shiny.
After Sunday,
I'm
you
shining.
probably still have cheese coming out of your pores.
but you have also have sweat in that mask before.
Okay. That's
When was the last time that mask was washed?
I don't know how to wash it.
There you go.
We had a purple gorilla mascot at this church
Oh.
for years. When I first came to this church when I was 15 years old, that thing was in service in kids' church.
That's gross.
And it probably went through last year, 2 years ago when we got rid of it.
Really? Wait, we got rid of it?
Yes.
Why?
It had
Spiders.
never been washed.
Dry clean the sucker.
Hollywood, KK,
Me.
Jeannie, Steven, Woodchuck, all the people, and if you were a part of our children's church at some point, I'm spoiling it, there was a human inside that purple gorilla.
Whoa.
That thing had never been washed. I'm talking wearing that thing out on the street corner, holding signs for car. It was bad.
Easter.
It was bad.
I love the concern you had for a second that EJ was actually vomiting.
I'm like, what did I just hear? What just happened? Did you see it on my face? I got really nervous.
For a second, you were like I hope
what
you go
just
back.
happened?
I hope you do a zoom in slow mo on that.
Pull your hat off,
They
man.
just go,
You got a trucker hat. You can't puke in that. All it's doing is straining the chunks. No.
I got a Chewbacca mask you can throw up in.
Oh my god.
no, I paid like $80 for that mask.
One of my favorite things, and it's still October, one of my favorite things, speaking of masks, is, because I have a collection of just like costume stuff because
Yeah.
it's fun to have. As a youth pastor, there's always ways. I'm still waiting to do some kind of sermon series based on Pac-Man because I have a full body Pac-Man and all the ghosts. costumes. Because
awesome.
I love
Talk
going
about
into
the Holy Ghost.
that's well. It's
Or you can
Oh.
talk about forgetting your past, getting away from the ghosts.
I was thinking, what's eating you? A waka through the scriptures. I don't know.
That's good.
That's cool. We
Off
can
the
just like run around
top
the
of
church.
my head.
with it.
Top of my head. Just, you're in the middle of service and all of a sudden,
Oh, and you could add the fruits, the fruits of the spirit, and
The
it's
fruits of the
it's
spirit.
the cherries.
That's what it is, man.
So many things.
So all of these are free and they're available as resources on nerdofgodcast.com. Ministry resources to bless you. So I always love going on November 1st when they knock all the stuff down to 50% off. You go to the Halloween stores and you buy the costumes and the things. Because we would always have a rock band party
Yeah,
right after Halloween. So
I
you'd
miss
always
that.
go and you'd raid the costume shop
I'm gonna
and
do
you'd
that again, man. That was
buy all your
fun.
things. And
First episode after Halloween, rock band themed thing. We're all gonna come and dress like rock stars.
dress like rock stars. So.
I have the perfect outfit.
Yeah, very good. Well, we'll think about that. Actually, our first episode after Halloween, I think we have a special guest coming in. I don't want to spoil it, but we do have somebody who's never been on the show before, and I'm really, really excited to have him here. It is going to be the reason. This person coming in is the reason that we do these episodes on YouTube now, because it's going to be a visual treat. But I don't want to give anything away, so stay tuned to the
Very
Nerd of
cool.
Godcast. But it is that time of year. It is Halloween time coming up, and I just want to open the conversation a little bit. I kind of got on my high horse a little bit last week, talking about the media and the different things that we consume. But I want to give you guys a chance to sort of share and jump in on this thing. It's definitely the time of year where pumpkin spice is in the air. Definitely the time where you can't buy regular shaped candies anymore. Everything's shaped like a pumpkin, or and everything is just Halloweeny. So
Halloweeny.
what are your did you guys growing up, what was Halloween like for you guys? Did you have like Halloween traditions or something that you guys always did? What was going on, like what was it like in the Nieves house?
For us, my mom would always turn the lights off and make us be quiet because we weren't allowed to let the neighbors know that anybody was home, because she wasn't giving out candy. So Halloween night at the Nieves residence was all the lights off and us in our rooms watching TV.
And she wasn't-
quietly.
You guys-
We turned all the house lights off, front lights off,
Wait.
letting everybody
She
know
didn't let
that
you
we
go
were
out
not
and
home.
get candy yourself.
No, well, until I was about 12, and then that's when we started getting more active in church. And then,
Gotcha.
my mom, the household conviction, became my conviction as a 12-year-old.
Mom's
so no more
chilly, so I have to
trick-or-treating.
put on a sweater. It's one of those.
So I used to go trick-or-treating until about age 12, and then that's when it stopped for me.
I can
Jackie,
relate
what
to
was
that.
you can relate to that, Nicholas?
Yeah.
No
I've
trick or
never
treating
been
for you.
trick or treating.
Never ever.
Really?
Nope.
That's
too
okay.
late. You missed
That's
your
okay,
mark.
Nick.
Wait a
don't
second.
dress
Hold
up
on.
either.
Hold on. You say that's okay. You're dismissing that he's never gone trick or treating, whether it's your conviction or not. It is an experience. It's part of like an
Free candy.
American experience. Do you ever feel? And I'm not making fun of you for that because I admire that you guys have a stronger testimony than most. But do you ever feel like you missed out, or as a child, did you ever feel like you missed out on that experience of free candy?
Not really.
Why?
Because I got more candy at the fall festivals.
We have a fall festival coming up here at our church, and it's on October 31st. It's on Halloween. There is a sweet lady, sweet girl. I don't want to mention her name, but she is differently abled, and you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Just the sweetest girl. And she came up to me and she said, "Pastor Tony, yeah." She goes, "Is our fall festival on Halloween?" And I said, yeah, it is. It's on Halloween this year. And she said, "Why would we do that?" And I looked at her and I'm like, well, we did it so. And it wasn't that I didn't have an answer. It's that I could tell that nothing I was saying was satisfying her and that she wasn't going to let me off the hook. And I said, "Are you offended by that?" She goes, "No, I was just wondering." And I'm like, oh, no, she is not just wondering. I definitely need to come up with a really good answer right now. Well, you see, we want to do it as an alternative to Halloween so that the kids that would go out trick-or-treating, maybe people that are not from a church, they can come in here and they can still get candy. And she says, "Then aren't we celebrating Halloween by doing that?" And I'm like, oh, crap. She's got me on the ropes.
That's
Well,
deep.
last year we did
That's
have
deep.
we had a kid costume contest, and one kid showed up with a zipper face.
A lot of people
Oh,
showed up with
yeah.
zipper faces.
Yeah, well,
That's a very
But it wasn't on
interesting-
Halloween though. That was like it was on like the
So
20th.
Sunday before.
So
Somebody
those
put the-
kids put on makeup
Somebody put
twice.
their zipper face on early. They're like, "This is my trial zipper face run. This is zipper face take one." Jackie,
next
what
one
about
will be
you?
better.
What was Halloween like for you?
I did do some trick or treating as a little kid, and then when my parents separated, my mom didn't want to take my sisters and me out, so our dad would sometimes take us out, and then if dad didn't take us out, my mom would have us dress up in our costumes, and we would go out to dinner in our costumes on Halloween. So that was kind of fun. We still got to dress up and eat, but we didn't get to get candy.
We are at the Big Boys, getting the Salisbury steak, and I am dressed like Tinkerbell.
But it was fun. I really just enjoyed dressing up as a kid. Like that's what I really enjoyed doing was just dressing up.
What do you think, Steven? What was your deal?
Until I was about 12, our tradition was me and my cousins would all go over to my grandma's house, and my grandma would make us Mexican food every year. For some reason, Mexican food.
Nothing says Halloween.
Specifically
Dia de los
taquitos.
Muertos.
We'd always have taquitos.
Okay.
And we would all eat, and then we'd go trick-or-treating around my grandma's neighborhood, just me and my cousins, and then obviously like my aunts and uncles and my mom and dad. And then that was it. Like it was just like a little family thing. And then when I was about 12, I started going with my best friend at the time in his neighborhood, which had a lot better houses and like a lot more candy.
Isn't it funny how different neighborhoods have different
yeah.
grades?
Oh, yeah.
Trust.
Oh yeah, he lived in a nice neighborhood.
You go to the
wanna
rich
go
to-
neighborhoods to get that good
What was
candy.
different about that neighborhood was it was like the first time I encountered like houses with actual haunted houses, like where they made like parts of like their garage.
Come
into a
into
haunted
my
house.
garage, the laboratory. No. Just give me the candy. That's
But-
not part of the arrangement.
But
I ain't going in your
I
house.
just want that treat.
Yeah.
I don't
Stranger
want that
danger.
trick.
That's
But
weird.
So like I mean like there was like one family in that neighborhood, everyone knew them, like they would go all out and like completely like redecorate the outside of the house to make it look real spooky.
Go on down into our crawl
Like,
space.
they got like
Climb on Uncle Herschel's lap.
like they got into it. That's also when I saw a cop that was a cop, and I thought it was a guy who was just in a Halloween costume as a cop, and I grabbed his gun. That was a bad decision. That was fun. That was fun. He put me in an arm bar.
Halloween.
Cop wrestles Steven to the ground. He's like, "I smell taquitos on your breath,
Well,
boy."
I had not gone to eat taquitos since then. But no, it was like him, his wife, and his two kids all dressed up as cops. I thought it was a family. I keep on saying cosplay. Like since
Yeah.
I've become a nerd and
Yeah.
a Christian, I've looked at more cosplaying than costumes. But then for a couple years until I just felt like I was too old, I think the last time I actually
The last time you went trick-or-treating, you didn't dress up. You just went around as a teenager. I remember that.
Well, no. What we
you and Keith, and Keith Nolan just went around trying to scam candy out of people.
What we did.
Not heroic.
Well, no, because I didn't go trick-or-treating after I got saved, just because I think
DT.
we always did the fall festival around that time. But the year when I was 15, we went trick-or-treating, and that's when I was like hardcore, like I wanted to be a rapper. So all that we did, because like we had our own rap group, we all had color, like our rap group colors, and we had hats. We had like personalized hats that we saved up for and got made, like with our name, like our rap names on it and our logo and all that stuff.
You know you street when you get a hat made at the kiosk in the mall.
I just love
that's
Jessica's
exactly what it was.
face right now.
It's spray painted on there.
Jessica's face.
But we so what we did is we just switched hats and we just went as each other. I went as his rap person and he went as me, and that was we just didn't really try that year.
Did the people at the houses know that?
They didn't care.
They didn't care. They see shady teenagers coming over. They're like, I think they're on the drugs. Just give them the Snickers and they'll go away.
In my mind,
I was
thought
15.
The way I finished your story was you started handing out mixtapes and kids' bags.
Oh my!
That would have been brilliant, but we didn't have a mixtape.
No, because what you told me, you weren't like rapping good stuff.
Well, we weren't Christians at the time, so
Trick or treat, kids. Hope you don't mind profanity.
Yeah. But no, I mean, we also didn't record anything.
Jessica,
we didn't have that kind of money.
Jessica, now did you have trick or treat?
On and off. Because from the time I was 5 to the time I was about 15 or 16, my family was Jehovah's Witnesses. My mom still practices, and
I love that.
So
occasionally,
yeah, which was always tough growing up because Halloween, even as a Christian, is my favorite holiday, which is it tears me up having those two sides. Because I've always been into the darker aesthetic. I mean, they don't call me Jessica Terra for nothing. but I mean, sometimes we would just stay home and do like EJ did. All right, everyone, we're not home. I knew it's a very small town. Those are my friends out there. They know I'm home, but I can't go into the door.
They know I'm home because I'm not with them.
Yes. And there were a few times where we'd go over to my aunt. My parents were finally relent, and then we go over to my aunt's house and we go trick or treat with all the cousins over there. And
all the what?
Cousins.
I thought she said cuns. I was like, whoa, that's a different word.
Something else that was like,
cousins.
Like the alien race from the DC universe.
I said, these are my with all the coons.
The coons.
Oh no.
It's a shortened version.
I thought it was like
cousin.
how like people in Pittsburgh say yuns guys.
Con mi
Nope,
primos.
never once heard of that.
Isn't it in Pittsburgh they're like yuns guys?
Nope.
Yuns guys.
Use guys? That's from Jersey.
Not
Jersey.
yous, yuns.
Nope.
Yuns?
Not
I thought
heard
it was
that.
in
I've never
Pittsburgh.
heard
Maybe
that. That
like
might be a
If
Young
Pittsburgh.
anybody
blood.
out there listening, if you're from Pittsburgh, if you can validate that for me, please leave us.
Young
a
blood.
And also, the pirates suck.
Hey, but Andy Warhol's from Pittsburgh, and he's one
There
of
we
my.
go. That's
Yeah.
a good.
And
That's a
Jim
good.
Halpert.
And
is one of my
the
no,
Pittsburgh
still
Penguins are back-to-back
Inspirations.
Stanley Cup champions.
Who cares about hockey?
Yeah. This
Hey,
Hey, I like hockey.
Uh-oh.
Canadians.
It's okay. It's all right. Just be easy on her. Neff, what was Halloween like in the Neff house?
Well, as a little kid, I got to dress up in really cool costume. I was Batman one year, and I had little foam muscles. And
Yeah.
everything. This was a little midget running around in like a muscular Batman costume.
I think midget is an insensitive term. I don't think people,
Little person.
people. Yeah, little person.
a wee man.
You were an infant,
better.
toddler would work too.
Anyway, I had to be Darth Vader one year, and then I was like the Scream guy from the scary movies, which I had never seen at the time. I just thought the mask was fun.
Probably.
Was it the
Probably good.
the
one that
weird
had the
funny
tongue,
face?
the one that had the tongue
Okay.
out.
The
yeah.
was up face.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
that's what it was called. But but as a teenager, we pretty much just leave the candy out in like the front door. And
We
then-
loved those
Oh,
houses.
those are
Yeah,
the best
I love
houses.
And we were like,
Yeah, the
put up
most
a
One
sign,
stop shop.
don't take all the candy.
Yeah, there was
Leave
a
the
little
little
note.
sign.
But,
Please take one.
But then one year, I was watching Poltergeist. I was like, yes, good time. And my mom
Yes,
had
good time.
my mom had forgot to take the candy out, so she's like, Quinn, go take the candy outside. Put the bowl out in the front for everybody to have candy. It's like, okay, fine. So I go out of the house.
How old were you?
He was 23.
I was
last week?
19.
Next year.
Last year? No, I was about 14 maybe, and I walked out of the house with the bowl of candy. Like, just gotta do this real quick. I walk out and put the bowl down, and then I walk back up to my door, and the door is locked. Now I'm locked out of the house, and my mom had forgotten her home key.
Oh.
So we were all locked out of my house on Halloween night, and people were just walking by getting their candy from other places.
Oh,
And
man,
I think
that's weird.
at one point a family walked in like, so is there candy? And we're just like, we had to like get like a locksmith to come break like get our house. It was awful, but
That was the Lord telling you should have been watching Poltergeist.
yeah,
That's good.
I watched it later on that night.
Oh.
I'd recorded it.
Oh, so what was your favorite thing you ever dressed up as?
Batman.
Obviously.
It was so cool.
Jessica, what's the best thing you ever dressed up as?
I don't know. My mind go. I was. Who was it from Looney Tunes? Babs.
Babs.
That's
the
from
Tiny
Lo-
Toons.
Yeah.
Lola?
Or Lola?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, Lola's from Space Jam.
Yeah.
that's right.
It was
Babs,
Babs.
baby.
Babs and
from
Buster.
Tiny Toons. That's cool.
Mhm. I was like 5.
Steven,
That's
best
cool.
thing you ever dressed up as?
Chaos from DT. No. I went as
That was his friend's rap.
Yes.
Dirty toilet.
I went for like 3 years. I went as Bat Monk instead of Batman. When the
It's,
chip.
it's
Oh,
when
right.
the Chipmunks did a tribute to it's what
There
it's
was
what
a
fat
series-
kids who wanted to dress up like Batman had to pretend they were. 'Cause it's like my cheeks don't quite fit in the
I
mask.
was a chubby kid. It was a Batman costume. I broke a glass dining room table dressed up
That's
as
my
Bat
favorite
Monk.
story.
But probably my favorite thing that I ever dressed up as was the Blue Ranger. I went as that for like 2 years.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
kept the same costume for like 2 years. Like my parents would have bought me a new one, but I was like, no, I'm gonna be the Blue Ranger again until I outgrow it.
That was a Power Ranger.
That was Woody one time. That was fun.
And that was when he was 23.
Oh, I was Buzz Lightyear one time.
I guarantee it wasn't the same
I had,
year.
I had the blow up wings and jetpack.
I was 6.
Jackie, what was your favorite thing you ever dressed up as on your way out to dinner? Or whenever.
Chaos from
Whenever.
DT.
As a kid, I had a cool genie costume that I really liked.
Like Genie, like from Aladdin, or Genie,
No,
like from
like-
I Dream of Genie, or Dream.
No, like
Or Genie the
like just a generic like girl genie.
Okay, very cool.
It was like
Who's that?
Did you have a bare midriff?
I can't remember.
Wicked sin.
Don't remember.
Sinner. EJ
Wait. To be honest though, the Aladdin one didn't have any shirt on. So
So that would have been
was
better.
basically a belt and an earring, and a couple bracelets.
And pants.
No, he didn't have. Well, he had
No
pants,
white,
but he
yeah,
had
yeah,
legs.
white pants.
But most of the time, he was just like a disembodied. He was a full body.
It was a wisp.
he was wearing and he had
Full torso vaporous
Oh, geez.
apparition. A real nasty one too.
But no, and then as an
$4,000.
adult, I dressed up as Carrie Kelly because I made that costume,
That's
and
cool.
That was a cool costume.
That was good.
that I'll probably wear again this year.
Ness, EJ, what's your favorite?
I think it was a Ninja Turtle once. Raphael.
Nice.
Of course, you were Raphael.
Very nice.
I think one year, I think it was '98. My sister was going out. She wanted to go as Sting for Halloween. Like Sting.
98.
Wow.
Wait,
'98.
the wrestler
The
or
wrestler.
the
Oh.
Sting,
Oh,
Sting
okay,
the
okay.
wrestler.
lead singer of the Police?
Sting the wrestler. She was 12 years old, and I painted her up. We did her hair black. Scotty, and did the whole.
Oh, I would have thought
Oh.
Jamie.
Did the whole?
Oh.
No. It was, Jamie was NWO Hollywood for life.
Oh, okay.
Scotty
Oh.
Scotty was Wolfpack. So
She was 90s.
we did the
Sting.
red face Sting with the black, and I did her whole makeup thing.
That's
she
cool.
had the NWO Wolfpack thing and the baseball bat, and she went out and did her trick or treating. So I was at home, and I had just a little bit of her makeup left over, so I went and put on my NWO black and white shirt. I had the longer hair, and I tied my bandana up in the front. And I did like my beard, got a toothpick, and I was answered the door and gave kids candy as Scott Hall.
Cool.
Opened the door like, "Hey yo." And it was a lot of fun. Like, kids were really like freaking out. They knew who he was. My mom was so impressed. She's like, "Oh my gosh, all those kids think that you're really him." I'm like,
They
probably not.
They walk up to the door and you
Gotta
like come up
love
with candy
Mom.
like
Gotta
you
love
know why I'm here.
You know,
But
why
you
I'm here,
don't?
But you don't know what kind of candy I have.
Yeah, exactly.
You say who's the king of the ladder match. If you get it right, you get a Snickers. If you get it wrong, you get a squirrel nut zipper.
Oh.
Squirrel nut zipper was like a terrible little candy. It was like
heard of that.
I never
so
heard
terrible,
of that.
you've never heard of
Is
it.
it worse than a Tootsie Roll? Well, I don't like Tootsie Rolls.
I
People
love
like
Tootsie
I know some
Rolls.
people like Tootsie Rolls.
But
That's
Tootsie Rolls are
as horrible as a
I
Tootsie
love
Roll.
Tootsie
Rolls.
Rolls.
It's just, okay, we talked about neighborhoods. There were Tootsie Roll neighborhoods, and then there were Snicker neighborhoods,
I
Well,
agree.
see, I like Tootsie Rolls over
Tootsie
Snickers.
or like
Same.
Butterfingers.
you
But then
like
you
Tootsie
got-
Rolls over Snickers?
I
I
don't
like.
I
I
also
don't like peanuts.
I also
I
don't,
don't like Snickers either. I'm not a
Oh
huge fan.
man,
I
I
also
don't hate
Snickers.
Snickers, but I'm not a huge fan.
How
of
does it
Snickers.
feel, Steven?
I also don't like chocolatey candy really.
Really?
I
I'm
like
more of a fruity candy.
I like
Then
a
you are
fruity
going to
and gummy
hate
candy.
this segment that we have right now, because what I need everyone to do is to open your mouth and close your eyes, because I've got something for you
Nope.
that is a big surprise. We're
Snack
gonna
time,
do,
everybody.
it is a Nerd of Godcast Halloween snack time, And I have brought in some Halloween candy segmented up into bite-sized bits. And I need you guys using your honor system. So if you're in glasses, go ahead and defrock your glasses.
Can I just make my eyes like blurry?
And the rest, and you'll just have to kind of cover your eyes or close them. You'll have to be honest with me.
Give me the Chewy mask.
I'm going to reach behind our tarp here, and I have a plate of bite-sized cookie bits or candy bar bits. I want you guys to taste them. That's why you guys have the bottles of water in front of you.
Oh, I've already drank most of mine.
Uh-oh.
That sucks.
If you would have told me.
Sucks to suck.
And I want to see if you
It's
guys
my
can
thing.
guess what the candy is. Now, real quick, before I hand it out, does anybody have any aversions to any different ingredients, whether it's
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
you cannot eat peanuts?
I mean,
You
I
don't
can't,
like
I
them?
Oh
just
no,
don't
no,
like
no, no! I
them.
thought you meant like I was giving examples.
Okay, but is there anything that if you eat it, you'll die?
No.
No.
Okay, so
Sadly.
you guys might they're all
What?
Stuffing.
What?
Did you say sadly?
Brussels sprouts.
Nothing will kill me.
I wish I was allergic to peanuts, so I had a legit reason to not like peanuts.
I thought you were gonna say I wish I was allergic to peanuts so I could die.
That's a weird thing. Like I think I'd rather
I
just
want to die by
not like
peanuts.
stuff. Like
All right,
I don't
so-
like stuffing, but I don't want to be allergic
I'm
to
gonna,
stuffing.
I'm gonna pull these out now, and again, you guys are gonna have to close your eyes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
look up.
I'm gonna hand a little cup over here to Jackie, and I'm gonna hand one to EJ, and then I'm gonna hand the plate to Steven, who's gonna take one down.
I'm
and
literally
pass
watching
it
you
around.
on the screen.
Jackie,
All
I
right.
forgot you hate
So-
peanut butter.
I
Take
really
one of
do.
them,
I forgot about that.
and sorry,
Jackie,
some of these
can you
things you
pass
might
me
not
the ones-
Oh,
totally
sorry.
favor.
I apologize.
Right there.
All
That's
right,
good.
no looking,
My
no
hands
looking.
up.
You guys can
My hand
smell
is
it if
covering
you
it.
need to. You guys can, but
right.
we're gonna go ahead and on the count of three.
I think I know what this is. Are we guessing what
On the
this
count of
is?
three, you're going to take a bite, and you have to guess what kind of candy it is. All right? Here we go. Everybody have your cups in your hand.
Yes.
1, 2, wait. Itadakimasu. 1, 2, 3,
Itadakimasu.
go.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, so
Oh.
enjoy the flavor, enjoy the texture. No looking, no looking, no looking, and just kind of figure out what it is. Get a good vibe of it there. These are all name brand candies. I'm not giving you anything weird or like store brand or European or anything like that.
Okay.
Is this the game that you promised me earlier?
I don't remember. Did I promise you a game earlier?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can't
then
tell.
this is it. Congratulations.
Is this a candy?
It is
Yes,
a
it
candy.
is a candy.
No, it's a multivitamin. You got me. Congratulations.
Flintstones coming.
You caught me, man. I'm trying to make everyone healthier.
Oh, that sounds like a great game.
All right, so-
Vitamin or
Can we-
candy?
can we
Who
open
thinks
our
they
eyes?
know? Yeah, you can open your eyes now.
I think I know
Who
what
thinks they know
mine
what it
is.
is? What do you think it
I think-
is?
are they all the
EJ?
same thing?
Butterfinger crisp.
It is not a Butterfinger crisp.
Okay.
Good guess.
Oh, is it the Reese's crisp?
It is the Reese's Crisp.
Yeah,
It is?
Peanut butter and wafers.
Yeah, I knew it was a
I
crisp.
can
Is it
tell
that
the
or a
wafer.
Nutter Butter?
Oh,
It is like a
Ooh,
Nutter
Nutter
Butter.
Butters
It's a
are my
Reese's
favorite.
Nutter Butter. All right, so I'm going to reach back. I'm going to get the next one.
Oh.
looking
You guys
good.
know how
Oh,
the
this
game
is
is played?
nice.
Not a
Good
Nutter
idea.
Butter. Is it Nutter Butter?
There's another Nutter Butter.
We have many rounds of this game,
Little
so
daddy
I hope you're going to get at least one full candy bar out of all this.
Hey.
All right, reaching over to
I'm not looking
Steven.
down.
I think Nutter Butters are the
Got
little peanut things, aren't they? That's
Nutter,
different.
Nutter Butters are they're the wafers. They're like
don't
the,
have to take it so
they come in
gingerly,
a 2
Jessica.
packs of like peanut butter wafer.
There you
Wafer. Are you thinking of Nutty Buddies?
That might be what I'm
Nutty
thinking.
Buddies.
Nutty
Nilla
Buddies.
wafers.
Nutty Buddies are like the
Nilla
little
wafers.
peanut cookies.
Yeah.
They're like
Nella wafer.
Oh man,
All
these
right.
aren't real Nilla
Ooh,
wafers.
ooh, I already know.
all right. 1,
Oh, wait.
2,
So excited.
1, 2, 3, go.
Oh, baby.
Itadakimasu.
Oh, yeah. It's one
One of my favorites.
One of my favorites.
All right. We'll hold off and we'll see if somebody else who didn't identify it so quickly.
Oh no!
Dang it, Jackie.
You don't like it, Jackie?
No!
Is there any more?
What don't you like about
I
it?
like coconut.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
I
this.
don't like
love
coconut.
coconut.
Can I get another 3 of these?
Yeah, do we have any more?
Jackie,
Gross.
spit yours back out in the cup.
No,
EJ
I'm
wants
gonna
it.
spit. That's gross. I'm gonna swallow it like a grown up.
I thought you were about to say like a
She's like
boss.
crying.
I thought you was
She's
gonna
like-
swallow
Here
it.
you go.
Jackie's like crying. She's like, I'm going to
Don't
swallow it
throw
like
up.
a
Don't throw
grown up.
up.
I mean, I'm not gonna throw it. It's not that bad.
All right. What is
Sorry,
it?
Jackie, I
Is
love
it
it.
Mounds?
It's okay.
It was close.
Or almond
Almond
Joy.
Joy.
Almond Joy.
Almond Joy. That's what I meant. Yeah, I
so
don't like.
good.
I don't like
Almond Joys.
coconut.
Oh,
For
man.
you,
I
fam.
love coconut.
The taste and the texture.
Coconut.
I
I
eat
love the
coconut.
smell of coconut, but the texture
I
of it
eat
just.
I eat coconut chips. They have baked coconut chips with
Really?
like butter on
All
them.
right.
That's disgusting sounding.
They're delicious.
Doesn't sound healthy. All right, here we go. Eyes shut.
Not slathered in butter.
This
They're-
one
they're
is
baked with butter on top.
Going to be really tricky. Really tricky.
I'm literally just. I'm not looking, but I'm looking at you in the thing.
I'm like trying to be careful because I don't want to reach out just because it's like handing me something. Like just
Oh,
watch where your hands go.
What'd you do?
That's
thought I knocked
Jessica's
it over.
garbage.
It was actually
That's
turned sideways, and he fixed it by whacking it on his pop filter.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Hey.
Jessica's going in your hand. Okay.
Neff is doing like the blind man claw machine, like reaching like, ah!
No, okay, no, because Jessica's like holding it up, and it's like right by her like
Yeah, she's
chest
playing with you.
area,
Here we
and
go.
I'm so scared.
1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Down the hatch.
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah.
It's a fat man thing. I got it going on. I know exactly what it is.
Man,
He's like,
I
I
must
found
eat
my
candy
new
a lot.
power.
Like I know,
That's
I think
a
I know
great
this one
candy
too.
bar too.
I love candy.
All right.
So good.
Jackie, is this one better than the last one?
So much better.
This one's the best.
I don't think I know this
caramel.
one.
I think I know
Everybody
this one too.
loves this one.
It was
too.
definitely caramel.
I've never heard anybody
But
say
I don't think I know
This
what it
is
is.
an
They don't
American
like this.
classic.
Yeah, this is a good one.
I don't think I know
Right
it.
side,
Jessica,
left
what are you
side.
thinking?
I'm trying to remember. Like I know the taste. I'm trying to remember the name.
It's hard when you're eating it blind, right?
And there's so many of them that are similar.
Can I give you
Yeah.
a hint?
No. Let's see if we can work our way through it.
I don't think that's
You know what
I
it
guess,
is?
is it a Twix?
It is a
Yeah.
Twix.
Yeah.
Let's say like is that a
Question is
Butterfinger?
right
It
side
is
or
a
left
Twix.
side?
Yep, right was the
It
right
was-
or left.
yeah, let's say.
So good.
Need a moment?
Doesn't matter. All right.
Do it out with a Twix.
I love Twix.
Snap it to it. No, that's a Slim Jim.
Completely different.
What was the Twix's with?
Back
New,
here.
need a
break.
moment?
All right.
Give me a
That's
break.
Coming up,
Cap
blind your
Make me have
eyes.
a piece of that
Steven,
fancy face.
reach.
What?
Don't look.
He's quoting
Feast.
Andy from
How'd you see the hand?
Office.
You looked. You cheated.
Coming at
I
you.
knocked it over on the side.
I feel for the one that's right up.
Oh, this is
Now just wait for her to
crumbly.
pass it to you.
What's this?
It's toppled a little bit.
Interesting.
I got it.
I'm gonna smell it.
Crumbly.
All right.
Oh, this smells weird. Oh,
That's why you don't
this,
smell
All right.
them.
Don't look at it, Steven. You're a looky Lou. I saw you looking.
I won't guess
You
on this one. I did
looky-loo.
out of reaction. I looked.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Down the hatch.
I know
Oh.
this one.
Yep. Well, no, wait.
What is?
I don't like it. I don't like this one. Wait, do I?
I can't tell what it is.
I know what it is. I like this one.
It's one
it took
of
a
two
second.
things.
The smell was still. I know what it is,
It's either
and not because I looked. I know what it is.
It's gross.
What do you
Is
think?
it
EJ, you think you got a sense of it?
I feel like I've had this before.
This
but
tastes like I can't tell.
is it a Heath bar?
It is not a Heath.
no.
It's
No, not
it-
even close.
It,
It's probably the
tastes,
other
it
thing,
tastes
man.
like an old Butterfinger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a young Butterfinger?
It is not an old Butterfinger, nor is it an old Butterfinger or a young one.
Oh, then never mind. I don't know it. 'cause
It's
I
a
thought it was
finger butter.
Butterfinger.
Which sounds
It
way
is not.
worse.
Nobody has a guess?
No.
It is similar to a Butterfinger, but it is a Butterfinger rolled in coconut. It is
Yeah.
called.
That's why I don't like
It's
it.
called a Zagnut.
That's why. That's why
Oh.
it smelled. There was a
I thought there was just
like my
residue
tooth.
from the
There
almond
was a
joy
type
still
of-
in my mouth.
something.
Oh, and I got like a cavity.
when I was a child that was like this weird like substance that you would blow a straw into and make like balloons.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that was.
Ow.
That's what it smelled like, and that's why I reacted. And I think that's the
Ow.
coconut.
My teeth hurts.
I thought there was still coconut.
for you, Jackie.
All right.
So much
That's
we
why I
got
wasn't
two
sure.
more rounds.
That's why I wasn't sure if I liked it.
Two more
because I could
rounds.
taste the Butterfinger
There's
and the
a lot
coconut.
of
All right.
sugar.
Close your eyes. Forever.
I can't see anything anyway.
Okay. And
I'm
reaching
gonna let
over to
Jessica
you,
bring her hand
Steven.
up to my hand.
No looky loos.
So it
I'm
doesn't
not
get
looking.
weird.
I'm just touching.
Yeah.
Are we there?
Ooh. I think
Is it
I know.
coming?
what
I will
this
bring
is.
it to
I'm
you.
gonna smell. Yeah, she will hand it to you.
I think I
Keep
know
your
what this
hands
is.
in your area.
See? Didn't that work better?
It smells like plastic.
You smell like plastic.
You're smelling the plastic bowl, the cup that it's in.
You smell like a
Yeah,
plastic
like,
Halloween
I don't know what
mask.
it. I don't know what it is.
All right. Get a
yeah.
good whiff. Take a good bite. 1, 2, 3. Down the hatch.
Oh, ow.
Oh, no, this is.
It's a struggle for you, Jessica.
Oh, now I know what it is. Dang it.
Why
I
is it so
know.
crunch? Why is it so hard?
I know what this is.
Because it's got nougat in the middle.
I don't like this one.
That's not
nougat
nougat.
is not hard.
There's not nougat.
Neff, you're not a candy bar man, are you?
I know what this is, though.
Are you a Tootsie Roll guy now?
I know what this is.
Maybe.
When you went outside,
This is
Poltergeist,
so good.
did
I
you have a
love
bowl
this
of
one.
Tootsie Rolls?
I like the
I guess suck
flavored
your
ones,
teeth, though,
except
but
for the
it's good.
vanilla.
Oh, I don't like this one.
I know this is.
You like the what?
The flavored Tootsie Rolls.
Vanilla Tootsie Rolls are the best Tootsie Rolls.
No.
Ugh.
Yes.
Oh.
No, the green
Oh.
ones.
No, you're wrong.
Oh.
I can tell you what
No,
it is.
no good?
No.
If nobody
No.
else knows it,
Good.
I know what
No.
it is.
It's
This
good.
is good.
Oh, it
It
looks
just
like we
gets
got-
stuck in your teeth.
We have a split decision here. All right, who knows what it is?
It's a Heath bar.
It is a
Bar.
Heath bar.
See now, okay, so Universal has these caramel apples, and they cover it with like crumpled up Heath bar, and it is so good. Every time I go, I get
don't
one.
want
So let me tell you,
Found that out just now.
the best restaurant dessert that you can get is Captain Jack's Buried Treasure at the Ale House.
Yes.
Which is layers of ice cream, crushed up Oreos, ice cream, crushed up Heath bars, ice cream, crushed up Oreos,
It's really good.
covered in hot fudge.
Whoa.
And
Wow.
it is
It's
See, the
super
ice
good.
cream masks the
Fantastic.
Heath bar, I guess. His Nutty Brother's good too.
that's one made with Nutty Buddies.
I don't like peanut butter.
And we're
so.
back to Nutty Buddies. All right, last one.
Ugh, I hope it's my favorite candy bar.
Got it right here.
Because I would know that one.
You okay? You feel betrayed, don't
I
you?
hate it. I don't like Heath bars.
I don't like it either.
Well, spit it in your little cuppy. Nobody's
No.
going to judge
Spit
you.
it in the
It's
cup.
gross.
Spit it in your
It's all-
orange pineapple juice.
I can't. It's all stuck to my teeth.
Sorry. Well, the next one's going to taste like that, I guess, if you can't get it all down. All right, we'll let Jessica cleanse her palate and bring in the next one out now.
Ugh.
She's like glaring at me like I wounded her.
I can't even see you.
Same.
All right, blinders up. Putting it down. Jackie, you got 2 in front of you there. And Steven,
Here you go, EJ.
plate coming at you.
There it is. Ooh, what is this one?
All right.
Chunky.
It's.
What'd you
okay.
call me?
Oh, I think I know what this one is just
Wait,
on the
trying to-
smell.
Okay, I got it.
I'm going to write my
Why are
guess
you
down.
smelling that? That's the
I'm
worst
going to write
thing
my
to do.
guess down.
You gotta
Just on
write
the
your
smell.
guess down.
Just
Because I don't
on the
want to
smell.
say it.
Shouldn't be looking.
He's going to write his guess down
I'm gonna-
without
I'm gonna
looking at
block,
his board.
Block it.
Oh, I know what it is just by feeling it out.
All right. Let's see.
I misspelled that completely. Looking back up.
All right, looking back up. All right, here we go.
Wait, hold on.
1, 2, 3. Eat it
Oh.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right based
Yep.
on the smell.
That's a great candy bar. That's one of my favorites.
This is I
Yeah.
prefer to eat this one out of the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm not a big fan of this candy bar.
Those are
No?
truly.
No, like,
I don't know
it's
the name
it's
of
good.
this, but I
It's
like
good.
this.
Yeah, Three
But
Musketeers?
it's not my go-to candy bar. Like if I'm given an option, I'm
This
probably
candy
not gonna
bar
pick
is
this one.
out of this world.
I like this.
Oh, no, I was wrong.
Steven, let me see what you wrote down.
I was wrong.
What did you write down? You wrote down Three Musketeers. It is not a Three
It's a,
Musketeers.
No.
Milky
I know it
Way.
is now. It's Milky Way.
It is a Milky
Way.
Way.
Milky
What's the
Way.
difference between a Three Musketeers and the Milky Way?
The fluff.
atmosphere.
The
The
caramel
mousse.
ribbon.
Yeah,
I
I
was gonna
thought
say the
that this
fluff.
was.
No, there's no caramel in Three Musketeers.
What's the candy with the marshmallow in it? It's just chocolate and marshmallow.
That's
Like a
um.
Charleston
Oreo.
Chew.
yes,
Charleston
that's what I
Chews.
thought it
Those
was.
are
Charleston
pretty good.
Chews are like
Now-
terrible to eat.
When Three Musketeers came out, do you know why they call it Three Musketeers?
No.
Because it originally had 3 different candy bars in it. It had a chocolate, a vanilla, and a strawberry version inside of
Oh.
it. And that's why they called it Three Musketeers. But
that
eventually,
back.
everyone realized that the vanilla and the strawberry were terrible. And
never
they
mind. Don't
went
bring
ahead
it
and
back.
just settled down. I think you can still get a candy bar similar to it. They usually sell it in the Cracker Barrel country store called,
Love Cracker
I think it's a
Barrel.
Sky Bar that comes
Oh,
in
yeah.
3
I've seen
varieties. And they're really terrible. It's a disappointing candy bar.
See, I'm weird. My favorite candy bar is a Payday.
I like a
I like
payday.
paydays.
I like
I
payday.
got to be in the mood for paydays. That's
But
all-
not that
that's all peanuts.
barbecue, that barbecue
Oh, that
flavored
one's
payday.
No,
Oh.
You know what gets
regular
me?
Payday.
You know what gets me going? A Take 5.
Oh, take 5s are good.
With the pretzel
You know
in
which
the
ones I
middle?
don't like? Zeros.
I don't like zeros.
I
You're
don't like
right.
zeros.
Those aren't good.
Apollo bars are pretty good. They're not real though.
So
Oh,
how do you
speaking
know
of
they're
candy
good?
bars, did you guys know that they're making Reptar bars?
Yeah.
Those are real now.
Yes, I saw
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You
They're
sent
making
me a
Reptar
picture
bars.
of it.
You sent me.
And it's
you
green
sent me
inside
one
and
of
everything.
Nice.
So that's a.
You can put your
Rugrats.
glasses back on, Jessica.
You can put your glasses back on. We're done.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, you guys all
Headache.
just ate like 3 candy bars worth of candy. You're all winners.
And we ate it at 10:30 at night. We're gonna be up late.
We all have diabetes.
Jokes on you. I'm always up late.
Well, let me ask you.
Jokes on you. I always have
That's my
diabetes.
secret cap. I'm always up till 4 in the morning.
Now that you guys are all sugared up and we have a second wind, let's get real about our conversation real quick tonight. Now Christians have sort of a long-standing beef with Halloween. Why do you think that is?
Because it's very associated with paganism and witchcraft and like darkness and evilness and demonic things from what I understand.
Horrific murders.
I never associated it with that.
I do. I mean, when you think about things that usually come out during Halloween, Friday
That
the
fella with the
13th.
Shatner mask on chasing poor Jamie Lee Curtis all around the house.
You know, I mean, that's a horrific murder, don't you think? Somebody getting chased and
Well, when
slaughtered.
when I first think of Halloween, I don't think of that.
Oh, I do.
I say I don't even think of the movie. I think of Halloween. I think of when I was a kid going trick or treating at my grandparents' house with my it was a family thing.
So,
Like it didn't start being a dark thing until I was 12 years old.
but now,
Yeah.
from the perspective of Christianity, why do you think, or do you think that mainstream Christianity is on opposite sides of the fence from Halloween? That there's some kind of conflict between 2 ideologies, 2 worldviews. What's your thought on that?
Well, I mean, we don't have Halloween festivals at the church. We have a fall festival. We celebrate the seasons
harvest
changing,
festival,
or a
too.
harvest festival. Like something celebrating like the fall time, and doing that. It's not necessarily like, hey, we're gonna have a haunted house at the church, like, because that's not what Christians are about.
There are Christian haunted houses, but it's
they're called judgment houses.
Go to the hell house.
Yeah, more like
going to hell.
More like a morality play kind of thing.
Hallelujah house.
You come in here and you'll see if you continue sinning, your ashes will be strewn upon a parade of pirates, murderers, and single mothers.
I'm lucky enough to not have ever gone to one of those.
Growing up, real quick, I used to go to these judgment house things, man. They were so scary because, I mean, they played up real good. It'd be all, dark, and then they'd have like demons come into the crowd and like take people. It was really weird stuff.
So it was a haunted house.
It was like a judgment play. It was like a play / haunted house.
Welcome to Hallelujah Horror Nights.
So the judgment houses kind of scare me too, but that's another thing.
Now, you talk about getting scared. That's really the nature of Halloween. I mean, whether it's, you get excited about the candy or the dressing up or the things like that, the whole marketable part of it, the celebrated part of it, is fear. It's definitely fear. Now, why do you think that Christians maybe take a counterpoint to a fear-based economy?
Because fear is all built on the fear of dying. Like, almost all fear is built off of death.
Okay.
And fear of dying. And that's kind of the opposite of what we think about when we think Christianity. We think about resurrection of life. And it's kind of the opposite of what most people preach, too, when it comes to Christianity. So, and even reading the Bible, it's more about Jesus, like, giving us a new life and that rebirth that we have when we come to Jesus.
Were you just looking at a way to wedge the word rebirth in there?
No.
It's like I'm thinking of a new 52 reasons why Christianity.
Well, like fear is the antithesis of like hope and love and the things that Christ stands for.
Yeah.
Like that is the opposite. God has not given us a spirit of fear.
That's right.
So
Amen.
why celebrate it?
Exactly.
Like and that
2 Timothy 1:7.
Yeah, that one. I'm really bad at remembering where
that's good.
things are found.
I knew it because it was written down right here.
Oh, bless you.
Cheater.
Bless you.
But like it's the opposite of what God stands for. So as Christians we should stray away from those things.
Just have the fear of God in us.
That's like the fear of God, but like
Yeah, because I mean, if I were to go into Walmart or Target or what's the place that they take over, like old furniture stores,
Like Spirit Halloween.
Like if I were to go in there and just see like unicorns and candy corn and Skittles and like fun time, Halloween costumes,
Then I
guess,
think that's called the Parliament House, and you should shop there.
Wait a second.
Oh my God.
Wait. You're going.
glitter everywhere.
You're going. Wait. I just love
So much glitter.
I just love that your description of a place to go buy costumes for Halloween is unicorns.
No, hold on.
Candy
Let me interrupt right there.
Special genie costumes
Now, what
from
I'm trying to
Aladdin.
say
and
is
Skittles.
What I'm trying to say is all the the happier things of Halloween. Like,
Yes.
Yay, candy. Yay, look at that cute little kid dressed up like a bumblebee. Oh, that's cute. But then you got another kid with a zipper face coming to Fall Festival. I mean,
I squished the bumblebee. I love you, Daddy.
I love you, Daddy.
Do the roar.
I think maybe there wouldn't be so much like, oh, Halloween is like scary and evil. But
Well, but why does the scary and evil come with it? I mean, you go back to the history of Halloween and where it came from. And I don't know if you guys know. I'm not super well versed in it, but I've read on it and had dialogues about it sometimes. I mean, it goes back to early Celtic traditions of
Samhain.
Yeah, and you have all the celebration of these demons, these spirits would come in and they would
Celts
occupy
were
the neighborhoods with the people. So there's the different traditions that we take out of that, like people getting dressed up in costumes so that the spirits
trick the
wouldn't-
spirits.
They would trick them into
Yeah.
thinking them, or they would bring them gifts to appease them so no mischief would befall them.
Trick or treat.
Even the different things of taking I think that it wasn't a pumpkin originally, it was like a turnip
Yeah.
that they would put they would carve and do
Yeah.
different things like that to
Well,
represent.
That's because turnips are gross.
Well, why not?
Pumpkins
What
are
was what they
great.
had most readily available at the time?
But around the time that the missionaries began coming into those areas like Ireland and
England and
Western
all that.
Europe and stuff, they would come in there and they began to associate more Christianity with those kind of things. So you see the correlation between that Samhain and All Saints Day.
Yes.
So that's where All Saints or All Hallows becomes All Hallows Eve or Halloween. But these things definitely had demonic roots, and when you go back to the way that these things originally began, it's definitely it comes from the dark side of the deep end, not necessarily Skittles and glitter and little kids in Bumblebee costumes. Now I don't know when you see people at Walmart buying an Ant-Man costume for their little kid or dressing somebody up like Sophia the First, that they're necessarily thinking, let's get together and worship Satan tonight. So is it all fun and games? Is it good, clean fun for the most part? Or is there something more to it? Is there something that even if you don't realize that you're honoring or celebrating this thing, is there still potency to it? Is there still something to be warranted with concern about? What are your thoughts? Did I state that clearly?
Maybe it's like funding something, like buying a product and all the money goes to something that you wouldn't normally support. Like I heard on the radio the other day, there are phone companies that have political agendas, not like big time companies, but like some of the smaller companies where if you buy their stuff, a lot of their profits go towards like certain political parties and stuff like that, and it may not be the ones that you support, but you're still you're giving them money into it, even though you're going for a different service.
Well, I get really good signal with my Al-Qaeda 3G. Is that a problem?
Only 3G?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of mountains out there. They have to have good service.
But that's what I think of is like,
if you're supporting the thing even without, you're buying a product, but you're inadvertently or indirectly supporting the bigger picture.
It depends on where you're coming from. If you're coming from a place like you were saying, where you're just buying, like you're buying into it and you don't know better, like you don't realize what you're doing, like you said, where people are just buying their kids bunny costumes and stuff, then it's like that situation. But then if it's one of those things where like if you go out and do like crazy clown costumes or something like that, or something that's like meant to feed into that whole demonic part of Halloween, then it's a different type of situation where people are just purposely feeding the beast.
When I was looking back at some old historical photos from, I think, like the 19-teens of some colleges here in America, sports teams, and it was an interesting thing. It was one of those websites you click on, and it's like, you won't believe these historical photos, stuff like that. And it was like the college swim team from Indiana University or something like that from 1919, I don't know. And they were all wearing uniforms that had swastikas on them.
Whoa.
Because the symbol itself was not a symbol of Nazism or fascism or hate or anything like that. It was actually a good luck symbol.
Right.
But once the Nazis used it, we pretty much all agreed as a society, let's take that one off the table.
Don't name your baby
There's no
Adolf.
longer a swastika emoji. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that one. They took it, they ruined it. It's theirs. And I think that when you have an establishment like Halloween, which is it's the largest money-making holiday outside of Christmas. When you have this much of a big economy, people are pushing that thing forward. Now, most of the people that I know that are taking their kids out, they're not just saying, all hail Bahamut, all hail, Satan, let us all go sacrifice our Tootsie Rolls before the altar of Baal. They go out and do this thing. But as a Christian, we kind of look and we see these roots of, well, yeah, but that also kind of means this. Are we swastikaing it? I mean, are we taking it off the table and saying, yeah, we can't play that way anymore because we know what it really represents? Or is that an overreaction? Is that Christians being like primitive or overly fundamentalist? Or what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm just sharing with you. Like, I'm trying to gather everything you're saying.
I'll frame it in a way. I'll even just kind of take a snapshot into your world. Let's say that there's an artist that you've seen many times at cons, and you appreciate his work, you appreciate his craft, you appreciate the stuff that he makes, and then you find out that the guy's like a child pornographer.
Yes, not that, but has happened before.
So then you go, well, I'm a fan of his product, but can I separate that? By supporting him, am I actually supporting something that's more nefarious?
Yeah, and this goes into what Neff was talking about a little bit. The moment I find something out like that, and I'm just going to be honest, for me, that happens a lot with me when people start realizing that I'm a Christian. Because I have followers from all over the world, different countries that they believe in different things. I've gotten DMs in regard, they ask me straight up, are you a Christian? I see you talking about God a lot. And I know that part of the reason why I lose followership is because of that, because I express that a lot. Because I've had particular conversations with people that, oh man, I've been following you for like a year. I've been following you for like 2 years. And, I'm now finding out, as I kind of get a little deeper and read some of your posts a little bit more thoroughly, that you're a Christian. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that? Because they're not, and they just want to know. And so for me, I'll just be honest and say, like, if that has happened to me, and I have to back away my support, I have to kind of step back and say, now me knowing I was ignorant, and in my ignorance, yes, I was supporting this artist, this person, going to this place, but now I'm finding out that they're funding something that is illegal, or they're doing things in other countries that are not appropriate, or what have you. I do stop the support. And some people might say, man, that's really intense, or a lot, but that's just kind of how I feel about it. If my convictions, if I find out about something and my convictions say, hey, like, you can't support that because your dollars or your time or your energy is being spent to support this, I do feel a personal conviction to stop supporting it.
So let me throw a scripture out there to you guys, and I'm taking it from a context, but I'm reading the scripture in just by itself from 1 Corinthians chapter 10. It says, you cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. You cannot partake of the table of the Lord and the table of demons. How does that apply to this conversation?
As Christians, like, the whole thing with Halloween is that it's got the roots of the demonic mess of it. And so, like, you can't do this and do this at the same time. So, like, that's where we as Christians need to call ourselves out and make a decision.
So
go ahead.
I'll say, in a similar, like, one could argue, I'm not saying that this is the same thing, or that I'm trying to defend Halloween, but Christmas, the roots of Christmas are pagan. 100% pagan.
Easter.
Not the roots.
The
trappings of the way that we observe it.
Because Jesus wasn't born in December. He was likely born in the summertime.
And like Christmas trees, weren't there like sacrifices done on ferns and things of that nature?
I don't know the full thing about it.
That was more of a Roman time with Saturnalia, which took place around the same time as Christmas.
And that's why, like, Jehovah's Witnesses don't celebrate Christmas, stuff like that. But I think,
the Romans, man, they screwed up all of our good Jesus holidays.
I think that if you look at a lot, and I mean, that's one thing, that, people were able to take it from what it was and turn it into something that glorifies God.
Is there a tambourine over there by you?
My seat is directly on top of a baptismal pool, and the lid on top.
That's right. And I have the button right here, so don't say anything cross.
Praise the Lord.
I mean, and to kind of continue, not to say that how can I word this without? I do not support particular religions because of their view on Jesus, but there are particular religions that have taken a stance on that, and they've said, we're not going to celebrate Easter and Christmas and Halloween because of pagan origins. And to me, that's a bold stand, because there is an argument or a conversation or even a confusion to be had that, okay, well, you guys aren't going to celebrate Halloween, but you celebrate Christmas, or you're not going to celebrate Easter, but you celebrate this, or it's almost like, well, are we picking and choosing? And I'm not, like you were saying, Stephen, I'm not defending Halloween. I'm not defending one side or the other. I guess I'm just kind of placing things on the table, because somebody could be kind of confused and say, okay, well, you guys don't support Halloween, but yet you support Christmas. And then if I Google the origins of Christmas, there's a whole bunch of pagan history with that too. So I think it gets really deep and interesting the more we talk about it. But
I think the difference is, to address that, is that you're taking the holidays that are focused on Christ, and I'm only speaking this from a church world Christian culture perspective. Yeah. You're taking the holidays that are focused on Christ. Jesus was born. Yeah. Come let us behold him. Come let us adore him. And then you have the holiday where Christ arises from the grave, and we sing, and we celebrate the empty tomb. We celebrate the gift on the cross, and we have these things. And yes, there are bunnies and eggs and things as part of the cultural expression of that, but those are add-ons to our focus of Christ. And even some people would go far to say, you know what, I prefer to focus on Christ and not have any of the bunnies, and that's fine and good too. Some people would say, I want to focus on the birth of the Lord, but not really focus on Santa Claus and the trees, and that's fine and stuff like that too. But it's still Christ-focused with extras. As opposed to a holiday like Halloween, which is the opposite of that, is death-focused. True. And there are, no matter what extras you put on that, it doesn't make the negative a positive.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not condemning any Christians that observe Halloween or that celebrate Halloween or take their kids trick-or-treating. That's something that you have to work out and you have to think about. But I do think it is prudent for us to be aware of that it's not just a neutral thing. It's not just a non-choice. That we do have to go into these things with caution.
And that's what I was trying to get at eventually was look at your own convictions about it, but also make sure that you're guarded with it. Like when I've never really liked horror movies. There are horror movies that I have enjoyed for different reasons, but nothing super, super scary. I don't like being scared.
I don't either. I don't like horror movies at all.
I don't like horror movies mostly. Like, and now I don't watch horror movies. I stay away from them. It's a conviction of mine since, I got saved. But there were horror movies that I enjoyed when I was younger. There was a time before I was saved that I watched all of the I spent like 2 weeks watching all the Friday the 13th movies. Like, because they were terrible. Like, I didn't view them as a horror movie. I viewed them as just really bad movies that were funny. That just happened to have a murdering psychopath.
But your youth pastor had to walk you through some stuff, man, to untangle some of that mess. That poor guy.
But I would say just be guarded. I mean, like I was just reading last night. I was reading the Beatitudes, and it says whatever goes into your eye, make sure it doesn't offend you. I mean, I'm paraphrasing. But so like whatever we intake, we need to be guarded about it that it doesn't offend us. If celebrating Halloween personally convicts you, then don't do it. Or if you feel like it's gonna help cause somebody else to be a stumbling block, then maybe you should rethink how you're going to go about it.
To me, all this seems to be, from my perspective, it all comes down to observance of holidays. Like for Christmas and Easter, the way we celebrate is by talking about Jesus but a lot of people, Christmas is all about gifts and the tree and all that stuff and have nothing to do with Jesus. Same thing with Easter, how we as Christians talk about Jesus' resurrection, but other people will celebrate by the Easter bunny and Easter eggs and all that stuff.
Sure.
And with Halloween, it's like where people will celebrate Halloween by dressing up and going to get candy and celebrating the holiday like that, while we have a harvest festival instead. And I'm not saying that like copying, like doing the whole giving kids candy like you were talking about earlier with
there's never a wrong reason to give out free candy.
No, yeah. But like it's
unless you're in like a van with no windows.
But I can see where there could be confusion of a fall festival being on Halloween.
Yeah.
Like an endorsement of.
Yes, I can see the confusion.
Well, it's almost a change of a change of the reason why you're doing that action.
And the way I see it, we've had it on Halloween before, but that's because we would always do it on like this specific, like the last Saturday of the month, and it just happened to fall on Halloween. But there's another. I mean, I think there's a good way to go about it. At least I don't know. I personally don't know why we're doing it on Halloween this year because it's on a Tuesday. But the way I see it is on a day that's grounded in demonic stuff and death and unchristlike things. We have the opportunity to have something here at our church that will bring the community in, so that we can offer the alternative to that, which is Jesus.
Exactly.
Like we don't like when
as long as they're here, they're not watching the Poltergeist.
Locked out of their house.
The Poltergeist.
But
you heard me.
But like even when we advertise it to our church congregation, we advertise it as our biggest community outreach of the year, because we get in our church is a relatively medium-sized church, but on our fall festivals we get thousands of people that come onto our property. And that's thousands of people that we have the opportunity to A, invite to church, and B, just like let them know that we're here for the community. That way we can be a light in the darkness. And I think for something like that, it gives you an opportunity to be a light in literally like the darkest day of the year.
Like I said, it's a different way it's a different observance on the same like, not the same token, but you know what I mean, like how like Halloween has the candy giving out and all that stuff. We had that same thing, but it's like a different try to find the right word.
Well, you can't put a spin on Halloween like you can. I mean, like Easter, that's a lot of churches call Easter Resurrection Sunday because they don't want to call it Easter Sunday because we're legitimately celebrating the resurrection of Christ, which would have happened around that time. It's 50 days after. Or no, that's Pentecost. It's 50 days after Passover. It's 3 days after Passover. It's like there's a specific reason why we celebrate it on that particular day and why it changes every year, but it's always on a Sunday. Christmas is a pagan thing that Christians took and maybe put like a little spin or a twist on it.
No, Christmas is a Christian thing that got incorporated into a Gregorian calendar. I'm just saying, like, it's still a Christian thing. Don't get twisted.
And
the roots of Christmas,
company.
it doesn't matter what kind of icons you want to associate it, whether it's the Virgin Mary, pregnant out to here, or Santa Claus drinking a can of Coke. Christmas is definitely Christian. It is biblical. It is from the Bible. It's not a nice little observation of, well, we have this. It's St. Francis Day or something like that.
Well, like I said, that's the difference, is the observance of because like I said, a lot of people who aren't Christians celebrate Christmas a different way.
But you're looking at the people that aren't Christians in America. When you say that, you're looking at the default, like, check other sort of things. People that we're going to celebrate Christmas, but we're not really interested in the baby Jesus. We're more interested in the Grinch. But Christmas is nice, and there's a lot of things that default stuff of it's nice to give presents, and we'll put up a tree, happy holidays, and that's fine. That's default celebratory American Christmas, non-religious, no Jesus Christmas, and that's okay because there's a default. There's not an opposite counterpoint. But cultural Christmas, no matter how mainstream and just kind of accepted it is, you're never going to find a Jewish person or a Muslim celebrating cultural Christmas. They're never going to say Merry Christmas and put up a tree in their house or watch A Christmas Story necessarily to celebrate the holiday, because they believe a counterpoint. They don't just not believe your thing. They believe the opposite of the thing. So I project that into this. When it comes to Halloween, yes, the cultural people who don't believe against it are going to trick or treat, and they're going to put on their great pumpkin mask, and they're going to go do their thing. But we actually believe the counterpoint.
Yes,
we are like a Christian, fully embracing and fully celebrating a Halloween, with all of the trappings and all of the things, cultural, spiritual, and the like, is tantamount to a Jew celebrating Christmas. It's just counter to our foundational beliefs, to who we are. But we become culturally neutral in that thing, and we say no harm, no foul, and it's just sort of we just do it because it's for the kids.
Yeah, and I wanted to find a place to put this in, and this is more of a blanket question. Not necessarily a statement, but a blanket question for everybody up here, and anybody can chime in after I ask it if you would like to chime in. But this is my question: do convictions, us as Christians, our convictions, do we grow more in particular convictions to not do things as our relationship with Christ grows? And what I mean by that is spending more time with Christ, getting into the Word of God. Because the thing is, for me, when the closer I'm trying to get to Christ, I'm never going to be perfect. But when I read something like in 1 Thessalonians 5:22, and it says, abstain from all appearance of evil. When I read a scripture like that, I mean, that to me, that's black and white. And I know that you can take something like Halloween and shift it and maybe mold it to where you think. But I guess that's my question. Like, as you get closer to Christ, and as you are really just trying to become more holy, because ultimately my prayer is that we're trying to become more holy, or as holy as we can be. Well, we're never going to be perfect, but we're living this life on earth to try our best to live like Christ. So as we're getting closer to Christ, and do our convictions grow? Like, things that we're like, man, we should not do this, or we should not do that. And in this particular conversation, I'm talking about Halloween. But I guess that's the question. Like, do you guys feel that the closer we get to Christ, something like Halloween gets put on the table for us to make a decision?
Yeah, I believe that.
I would think that.
I believe that. I'll give an example. I used to watch horror movies a lot when I was in high school. Even into college, because I wasn't really super into church at the time. I was coming to church, but not like on the regular or super into it.
Thanks. You must have had a great youth pastor.
Well, he's the reason I kept coming every week.
Aww.
So,
In college.
yeah, when I was in college.
When he was no longer in youth group.
Yeah, but I was super into horror movie, and then recently, I don't remember what movie it was, but I had gone to watch a horror movie, and I couldn't stand. I got like a minute in, and I couldn't watch it anymore. I physically it was a weird thing because I was like, I didn't know my convictions ran that deep, where I physically could not look at horror movies. And like I said, I've seen a lot of messed up horror movies, like dark stuff, gory movies, just demonic movies, all that kind of stuff. And so I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember which movie it was, but I just remember the first thing was probably some kind of gory scene. But it really made me look at it, and I was like, I can't watch this anymore. And it really was rooted in me, and it was conviction and a mixture of being so into the Christ, into Christ, and being surrounded by all this life and people who talk of life and talk about the Bible and Jesus, that being subjected to that darkness kind of it really turned me off to the whole thing.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. I have a little nephew named Lucas, and he's learning how to talk. He's learning how to do all the things. And when he was little, he couldn't imitate what you said. You couldn't say, say hi and go hi. You'd say hi and he'd just drool because he was a baby. He'd poop himself or whatever. But now he's, when he's there, say thank you and he'll say thank you, or say hi and he'll say hi, or because he's learning how to imitate those things as he learns what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. If you say hi and he goes orange, that eventually
okay.
there's going to come a point.
Good try, buddy.
There's going to come a point where he cannot respond appropriately, and you realize he needs help because he's not developing properly. What they look for, even in kids that are on the autistic spectrum, is things like speech delay, or the inability to take in cues and respond appropriately. And I think that as Christians develop, unless we see that, Neff, and it's not sanctification. To use a spiritual sounding term, sanctification is something that happens from a potential standpoint. It's like sanctification is like buying the season pass when you buy a video game. Yes, you own all the things, but you're not going to get it all until they gradually come out. So it is an absolute thing that happens, but it is also a process. That's my personal theology on that. Yes, when you became a Christian, there were things that changed about you, mostly in the form of hope and joy and freedom, but not in the fullness. You don't get the fullness of it right from the very beginning. It's something that you walk in and that you grow in, and that we learn.
I was going to church, but I wasn't.
But you have to eventually, to EJ's point, as you grow, you should see milestones. Yeah. You should see progress. You should see things that used to be fine not being fine anymore, or things that used to be unattainable now becoming attainable in the positive side. Because I hate it when Christianity is just framed in context of this is what you can't do. Because really, following Jesus is way more about this is what you get to do now.
Amen.
But I say this because this is the converse. This is the way that the Bible contrasts these things in 3 John. It says, "Beloved, do not imitate evil, but imitate good. Whoever does good is from God. Whoever does evil has not seen God." And that's why I get troubled when I see Christians imitating the evil thing. Dude, I like dressing up, man. Dressing up is fun, dude. Cosplaying is fun, and play acting. I wanna be Batman. I'm too fat for Batman. I might just go Kingpin, get somebody in good shape to dress up like Daredevil, and that's the best I can do. But it matters not. That's a fun thing. But dressing up or partaking or even celebrating something that is so contrary to God, like fear and death and murder, and especially demonic things is because that's a real thing. Like for most people, they're play acting like this thing, like, ooh, it's ghosts and it's scary and it's Ouija boards, and they it's a real thing, but they don't believe it, or they think it's like just this neutral force in the universe. But we understand as Christians that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood.
I don't mess with those.
Amen.
There's spirituals and powers and principalities and actual invisible warfare that does happen around us. That is an actual power in the universe that is actively trying to destroy what is good and rob people. And I'm not worried about me, but blind people to those things. What do they say? The greatest lie that the devil ever told was convincing people he didn't exist. You know, and they think this is just harmless. This is just a neutral thing, and it's not. I went to Disney World yesterday. I went to Magic Kingdom yesterday, and the only fast pass that I was able to get was for the Winnie the Pooh ride.
I love the Winnie the Pooh.
I don't, because I miss Mr. Toads, but that's not important. But when I got there, I got an email notification from Disney that said the Winnie the Pooh ride is not available. You can now trade your fast pass in for any ride in the park. Just walk up, and you got a free fast pass for anything. So I was like, all right, because there was nothing available. There was nothing available at all except for Winnie the Pooh. So and the Little Mermaid, which is stupid. And somewhere there's a cannon being mad at me right now, but that's not important. So we went and we're just walking around, and we just happened to be by the Haunted Mansion. So we're like, we're going to go on the Haunted Mansion.
There you go.
So we went on the Haunted Mansion, and I like the Haunted Mansion because I like the tradition of it. I like the animatronics of it. I like the show of it. I like that I know where to stand in the stretchy rooms so that I can get on the ride first.
For the red light.
Little things. But there's one scene in that always makes me super uncomfortable, and it's the seance scene. When you go through that thing and Madame Leota's head is in the crystal ball, in that one, man, I actually find my spirit pricked, and I'll sit there and I'll begin like even kind of like praying, like, Lord, I know that this is just a robot in a ball and projectors, and it's just a fun ride that people put together. But I also know that this is symbolic of a real thing that people really do. I mean, this is not like make-believe. This isn't fairy tale. This isn't like be brave against dragons and trolls and goblins and metaphoric. I mean, the Bible says in Leviticus 19, keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I'm the Lord. Do not turn to mediums or necromancers. Do not seek them out, and so make yourselves unclean by them. I am the Lord your God. Like, God wasn't saying, roll a D12, to find out if, you can fight against the necromancer. I mean, he wasn't referencing some kind of metaphorical thing. This is a real thing. There's real power behind some of these things. And if you can gain inspiration from the cross, or if you can receive power that's imbued by the reading and meditation of God's word, because of the spiritual aspects of something that's a physical manifestation of something, if you can be blessed and comforted by the symbolic act of baptism or the symbolic act of taking the Lord's Supper, if those things, which are symbolic references to something that's deeply powerful, spiritual, and quite real, have actual results in our lives, then why would you say that something dressing up like something demonic, satanic, or participating in that kind of thing, or getting inside the bathroom and turning the lights off and putting a flashlight on and calling for some demon to come out of the mirror, or doing light as a feather and stiff as a board and trying to like raise somebody up, or calling on that, like, they're play things, and they give us that little nervous chill that goes up our spine, but at the same time, it's not really play. I mean, to the world for whom the wisdom of the cross is foolishness, because they don't understand spiritual things. They haven't had their spiritual eyes open. It is just sort of X-Files, unsolved mysteries, like, are ghosts real? Woo-woo. But for us, man, I mean, it's like not just allegorical. Like, Saul went to visit the witch of Endor to summon forth the ghost of the prophet. I mean, like, this really happened in the Bible. This isn't allegory. This isn't a parable. This is a true story. And it was bad. It was not a good thing that had happened. I don't know. For me, I want to exercise caution.
Yeah. But
then the question remains, and it goes even further, where do we say it's okay and where do we say it's not okay? Because I go back to this girl looking at me with her very innocent eyes but persistent heart and saying, are we celebrating Halloween by having this thing on Halloween? And my conviction of just like, I mean, I don't believe that we are. I know that we are not.
Yeah.
But not feeling like I had a good enough answer to satisfy it. Like, if the Lord took me aside and said, hey, answer me this, I would be like, oh crap. Are we? I don't know. Lifeline? I don't know,
I am your lifeline.
When is it okay? When is it not okay? Is it when things are overtly spiritual, or is it when things are just like murderous? Like Saw is not about summoning demons; it's just about some sicko that hacks people apart or has them hack themselves apart.
Well, that kind of goes into our conversation last week where we were talking about evil and people doing evil things, and when that kind of goes back to supporting things that are evil, like when we're talking about the monetization of it. If you go out and you seek those types of things and you watch those types of movies, you're giving money, or even watching it online or watching it on TV, you're giving it views, which feeds more into that company who made these movies. People are going to see these movies, think they're successful, so they're going to make more of those movies.
And that's fine, and it's easy to say. And I'm not here to tell anybody that they're doing something wicked. I mean, let the Lord be the judge of your heart, man, not me. Because if we're opening up the window both directions, you're going to find 1,000 things that I'm falling short on. I mean, that's just the instant hypocrisy of when you speak God's word that we all become aware of how short we fall. But I ask this, at what point does it become uncomfortable for you? And this is a conversation we've had since season 1, Stephen. You know, we can talk about horror movies and we can talk about things, but don't talk about Harry Potter because that's the thing that you like. And I know that I get enough flack and crap for he's the anti-Harry Potter guy, and I'm not. I'm just I don't want to miss God's best on an easy one. You know? And then okay, well, what about The Walking Dead? That's not demonic. Yeah, but it's a lot of death. Lots of death.
Yeah,
like
we're dead in the title.
but that's something that a lot of Christians are very, very comfortable with.
I know a lot of pastors who like that show.
And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody, because I'm certainly not. But I mean, at what point do we stop justifying?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Walking Dead is outside. I just played the Walking Dead video game with my wife, and it was definitely a strong video game, and it had some content, and I'm not proud that we played through. But it was a moving experience, so I understand the art of storytelling and narrative. And I'm not saying that everything has to be Friendship is Magic or, you know, the Magic School Bus, and that's the only kind of entertainment that we can have, because it all has to... I'm not saying that. But at what point do I look at my playlist? At what point do I look at my queue, my video games, and go, okay, that one's too far? At what point do we say, you know what, is it always just 1 degree north of the things that we like? Well... I'll give you an example. Game of Thrones, most popular show on TV right now, to some degree. I would say it's pretty
popular.
It's pretty popular.
I think usually it's either The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones.
So you have Game of Thrones. I got Game of Thrones on Blu-ray. I watched the first disc and I was like, maybe this doesn't make me feel comfortable. I get it that their story is beautifully told. I get it, but didn't want to watch it. But if you had somebody who likes that and that's like their jam, do they justify that and say, well, it's the next thing that's the wrong one?
Yeah.
You know, like whatever's south of Game of Thrones, like that's where I'm comfortable. Oh, Game of Thrones is wrong, but Lord of the Rings is fine. You know, like that's fine. I don't like Dumbledore, but Gandalf, he's okay. You know, like we always draw the line at like our thing, and we say, well, this far and no further. But if you're on the other side, heathen.
You know, and because once again, before I start talking, I'll share that, you know, I'm guilty of things too. And I won't, for example, I won't do a Harry Potter and I won't do a Lord of the Rings because of some of the mysticism, magic, etc., etc. That's kind of where I draw my line, but I'll go watch The Killing Joke with the Joker. And so, I mean, that's just me putting my heart, my personal, this is where I draw the line at, because mine is mysticism, demonic activity, magic. That's where my line's at. But you know, like I said, I'll watch or read a Killing Joke comic book, or you know, watch the Blu-ray. And so with that being said, first, you know, I'll say this to myself, and I'll just kind of share this with everybody else as well, is that it's really about our own personal, you know, pursuit towards holiness, or our journey to sanctification, like our relationship with Christ. And I think that's really what it boils down to, because I know for me, when I had asked the question about the convictions, the more I try even harder and harder to spend more time with God, to read the Bible, to understand what he's really trying to tell me in the quiet times that I have with him, he's been telling me there's certain things that you need to let go if you want to get closer to me, if you want to be able to reach more people. And so with even sharing that, I feel like the platform that we have here as a Nerd of Godcast is a very profound and powerful platform, because we are talking about comic culture, nerd culture, but in the midst of that nerd culture, there's a lot of darkness.
Yeah.
And I've seen that myself, going in the cons. This year is interesting. I actually didn't really do a lot of cons this year. And my personal conviction is that I need to get back out there. And even on tape here talking with us, just as a family, like I pray that we also do that too. Because I'm realizing that my absence from the con scene is not a good thing. I need to be back in it. I need to be back in there praying for these people, in the midst of it, talking to them, because I do have conversations. I do have moments in, when I say con, I mean conventions, comic book conventions, when I've had some I talked to somebody once before that legitimately thought he was a vampire. And you have these cultures, these subcultures out here that a lot of them dwell, within the comic book scene, the comic book convention scene. And so, I don't know. So as, I say all that to say that, we have a platform here. It's a very profound, powerful platform to speak about these things. We have a serious responsibility. And I think it's a good thing that we're talking about this, because it's bringing all these things to the table. And ultimately, when we have all these things on the table, is for all of us personally to say, okay, well, where is my relationship with Christ right now? And I might have these convictions. I've drawn the line in the sand here. Is that okay? After having a conversation or hearing what, Tony had to say or what Steven had to say, how is my heart kind of dealing with this? And God, as I'm praying to you, are my convictions okay? And did that movie that I watched last night, are you okay with that? That comic book that I read, are you okay with that? What I painted last week or 2 weeks ago, were you okay that I painted this character? Because even sometimes I have tough, I guess decisions are kind of like these my heart kind of pulls sometimes when I paint like a Joker or a Carnage.
I'm not going to lie, EJ. I was preaching a message at a church a couple weeks ago, and I was using my son's iPad mini with my notes on it. And I didn't realize the entire time I was preaching, on the back of it, facing everybody, was a big Deadpool sticker that was one of yours.
No.
And I'm like, please, I hope nobody knows that. Like, I don't have a beef with it, but I was just like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I'll be honest, and that's me being completely honest with you guys. You guys are my family. We're talking about comic culture, and Deadpool, that's a whole nother topic, and yes, I have my personal things that get tugged with him. But it's me every day trying to get closer to God, saying, God, I want to get deeper with you. Are there even more things that you want me to let go of?
And that's why we need to have good leadership in our lives, people that are a couple steps ahead of us, to let us know that there is a better way, that we still have room to grow. I mean, the worst thing that a Christian can become is arrogant, to think that we no longer need to grow, that we have arrived. That's the difference between a disciple and a Pharisee, is someone that thinks that they have attained. And we haven't. We've not yet attained. We won't. That's why Christ has given us all of eternity to be with him, because we still have levels upon levels upon levels. There's no depth to where he's at. So how could we ever think that we look at his word and just like, I get it, whatever, it's simple. We still have to grow. We still have to die to ourselves every single day. And you mentioned, the con thing. The first time when we went to the Florida Anime Experience a couple years ago, I shared on Neon Genesis Evangelion, the gospel according to Neon Genesis. There was a kid that came out there, young man. I shouldn't say kid, young man who came out there. He was dressed like one of the guys from Final Fantasy 9, and he came up to me, Steiner, and he said, "Man, I grew up in church, and I come to these cons, and I never realized that it was okay to be here." Like, he had made a choice of like, I was kind of here secretly because I never knew that it was okay to be a Christian and like these kind of things. And it is okay to, it's okay to like sci-fi. It's okay to like comic books. It's okay to like anime. I mean, it's fine. Creativity evidences our creator. Yeah. But we just have to make sure that we don't have corrupt creativity. Let no unclean thing, let no corrupt communication come out of our mouth. We're supposed to be very, very careful, because you can't, there's no fellowship between light and darkness. And we have to continue to grow in that. Now, I'm not saying that we have it all perfect because we're still babies. Yeah. We're still babies, man. Even if you've been a Christian for 50 years, man, you're still taking your first baby steps on the way to eternity. But you should be doing better now than you were a year ago, than you were yesterday, and not as good as you will be doing tomorrow. And, this is just an opportunity to bring this dialogue to the table. I'm not knocking on any Halloween. I'm not knocking on any festival or any occasion that allows us to get candy and dress up and have fun. But the question remains, at what cost? At what point does it stop being about? I would rather my child grow up and I will take you to get all the candy you want. But man, let's focus on honoring God, and that's just the choice. It's just, again, we are in between Christ culture and the world culture,
right? As
the church, and that's a constant tug and struggle on our heart. So, something that we all have to think about and look at, and whether you agree with us or disagree with us, that's fine. As long as Christ is on the throne of your heart, as long as you are bought by the blood of Jesus Christ, that you call on his name and that you're saved. I mean, we're brothers and sisters. You dress up if you want to. You go full Walking Dead. That's not if it's not your conviction, I'm not here to tell you anything bad about it. But we bring these things so that we can sharpen and encourage one another, so that we don't do anything of this world on autopilot, that we don't just let the current pull us along. Let us always stay focused. Let us always stay directed, and let us always stay intentional in our walk with God. Can I get an amen from the congregation? Amen. So let's look at everything we do as we go to the Halloween season, as you guys get all excited and great pumpkin-y and stuff like that. If you're having a festival at your church, or you're having anything that you're doing, just remember, keep Christ first, and let our light so shine before men that they can see what we do, our good works, and glorify our Father in heaven. And remember, the only reason we're having this is a mandate from Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11. Take no part in the unfruitful works of darkness, but instead expose them. So, any final thoughts?
Was Linus a cultist?
I don't know, man. It's hard for me to balance.
It's
hard for me to balance the Linus that waited all night for the Great Pumpkin and the one who got up and quoted verbatim Luke, or the Gospel when he, and lo, there were in the same country. So I don't know. Linus was a man of many sides. He was a conflicted youngster. Thus the blanket.
I love Linus. He's my favorite Venus character.
Yep. Well, last week we had a long episode. I think that we blew it out of the water with this week. So
yeah, we're coming up on 3 hours right now.
I think we have blown past 3 hours. Nick, what's our runtime right now, buddy? If you're still awake.
2:58.
Yeah,
2:58.
Let's keep going. 3 more minutes.
I think we're done. Actually, we're totally done. I was going to go to the gym when we left here. I was going to go do something positive and healthy. Yeah, for real.
Oh, I would have gone with you.
Don't sound so shocked.
Yeah, really? Tons of fun? Yeah, no, I was going to really go.
It's more of the time that it takes for us to do this and how late we normally get out.
What time were you expecting us to get out?
My plan was going to be 8:30 to 10. We started right at 8:30.
That was cute.
Whatever.
I'm about that life.
It's all good. Hey,
I want to be mad at it.
If we're just sitting here and we're arguing over who won a game, or Steven and Neff are just going at it with each other just for the sake of good radio, that's fine. But that's a waste of time. I'm not interested in that. But if we're having good, edifying conversation and we're encouraging one another, and that's fine. We'll stay here all night, even if Jessica falls asleep at the table like she is right now.
I know.
I'm gonna start packing my uniform with me.
You work here, you might as well live here. I just got a text from a friend of the show. I didn't want to mention it, but I'm going to mention it anyway. He sent me a picture of the Black Panther poster. Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
He said
I don't think so.
He said there's only 2 white people on the poster, and it's Bilbo and Gollum, and I'm okay with this.
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman's
Freeman and Andy
American
Serkis.
accent
It's
sounded
nice.
better in the trailer than it did in Civil War. Because in
So
Civil War,
good.
it wasn't that good.
Yeah, it's good now.
So-
He's
sounds
definitely
more
worked on
American.
it.
Anyway, funny caption. I guess that makes them the token white guys, right?
Oh,
Finally.
There it is.
nice.
That's hilarious.
Well, we are definitely out of time for tonight. So once again, complete our joy and follow us on all of our social media platforms. It makes a big difference to us, and it helps us to get out there so people can see the fun and the good thing that's happening here at the Nerd of Godcast. So Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at Nerd of Godcast. If you do want to get in touch with us, you can email us nerdofgodcast@gmail.com, or you can check out our blog online with our online store where you can get your official Nerd of Godcast merchandise at nerdofgodcast.com. Don't forget, next week we are going to be releasing our Nerd of Godcast hotline, the Nog line, where you can call in and give a shout out, and you might actually make it on our show, which is kind of a cool thing. Patreon supporters are going to get that. Now, I told you guys that I would be giving away one of these Terrigen Minds shirts that you can see on the screen right now. Huzzah!
Yes, I want one.
Custom made for you. In fact, we're going to even put the little thing on the bottom there, the little quote that says, "To the mines you
To
go."
the mines you
That's
go.
next level. That's
And this is what we're going to do. In fact,
Amazing.
I'm not going to give away one. I'm going to give away 3 shirts.
nice.
3 shirts. These are handmade by me. Actually.
Am I ineligible?
I'm not saying you're ineligible.
Because I want one.
I'm not saying you're ineligible.
Not allowed.
You could buy one, Steven.
I'm not
I'll
saying no.
purchase
These are
one.
not for sale. These are only. These are promotional items
okay.
only.
I spoke too soon.
So you can get it, and this is how you're going to get it. I told you guys how you can get it. You had to stay to the very end of the episode, so God bless your ministry. If you go to patreon.com/nerdofgodcast, that's patreon.com/nerdofgodcast. You don't have to sign up and support or anything like that. It doesn't cost anything. We are going to be posting a picture of the Terrigen Minds shirt on our Patreon page, and all you have to do is just comment on it. If you comment on our Patreon page, you can you become eligible to win one of our Terrigen Mind shirts. You'll just have to let us know when we select you as a winner what size you are and what color shirt you want, and we will send that out your way. We did send out a couple prizes to those people that submitted our quotes from last week, so congratulations to Ben and Scott who won Nerd of Godcast t-shirts. I hope you wear them in good health, and to Lindsay who also got a Nerd of Godcast swag package. So we are out of time for tonight. We've got lots of great stuff. We're going to be coming out with more episodes very, very soon. In fact, I guess one episode is going to drop, I guess, right on Halloween? No? The week after?
Maybe.
Time's so
Something like that.
confusing. It's almost Thanksgiving time. That's all I'm living for right now is the Wawa Gobbler sandwich. So
God bless.
for the Nerd of Godcast, my name is Tony T. For Steve-O Supremo,
Mahalo. Ciao.
the big man Quentin Neff,
Swing from the chandeliers at 2 a.m.
That's a quote.
Oh, sorry. See you later.
the twins, Jackie and Jess,
Good night.
and EJ.
Gravy.
And all the way up in the booth, Nick, the incomparable engineer.
Goodbye.
Till next time, we ain't got to go home.
We can't stay here.
Here.
Bye.
There.